Hello everyone, welcome to Mineral Resources Park. It is Waffle Eagles action against East Fremantle, thanks to Hungry Jack's and Diploma Plumbing. Huge day for the West Coast Eagles. To tell us more, Dana Hooker from the AFLW team joins us. Well, it's a simple equation, Dana. Win.
Absolutely, Goss, and it's a really exciting day. The win obviously puts the West Coast Eagles into the finals, and a win will get them sitting fourth, which would mean a home final against West Perth next week. So a really exciting time and a huge accomplishment for the club in their inaugural season.
And that's not great news for the co-tenants here, Perth, who had a chance to be in the finals for the first time in 20-odd years, so they'll be watching this game with a lot of interest. It's a talented side, the West Coast Waffle Eagles today. It's star-studded, lots of AFL experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Some handy inclusions back in Will Schofield, Josh Rotham, and the big captain, Fraser McInnes, is back in returning from his quad injury, so bring some depth and experience back to the side.
Well, speaking to Bill Monahan, he's been very pleased with the natural progression of a very young East Fremantle team, but he said they've improved. Next year, it is all about next year, but they want to put out a good performance today.
Yeah, they're a young and inexperienced side, but they've had a fairly decent season. They've challenged some teams and they've been solid, but look, they'll be going out to finish up and wrap up their season really well today, and if they can stay in it at half-time, like any good team, they're every good chance, but I back the West Coast Eagles in today, of course.
No doubt about that, and no excuses weather-wise.
Oh, absolutely not. It's fine conditions today, much better than last Friday night in torrential rain, as we know. But yeah, beautiful conditions today, not too much wind, nice and sunny, so should be a nice, clean game of football.
Look forward to seeing your work and hearing your work on the boundary line. And for those asking, yes, she is standing on a box, thanks to Diploma Plumbing. Yeah, show the box, show the box. There it is here. This is live TV as it stands. Anyway, no ruckman she will be. Diploma Plumbing and Hungry Jack's bring you all the Mineral Resources action here for the Waffle Eagles. Let's head upstairs now to our caller, Steve Bandy.
Well, thank you very much, Tim Gossage, Dana Hooker, for the boundary ride report. Tim Gossage putting everyone to shame with your 7-foot frame, no doubt. But a massive game, as it's been stated, for round 20 here in the WAFL action. A couple of results in yesterday's games. Oh, there was plenty riding on it for the teams involved. Start with the first one, the Perth Football Club, as Tim Gossage stated. It's been 21 years since their last final. A victory over the Thunder would have probably got them in, going down by 3 points. The Thunder, 3 goals to 2 in the final term, got it done. And also West Perth playing for their finals future. In the end, they went down by 4 points to South Fremantle. Cracker of a game. West Perth were coming home late, but in the end, a goal either swing has kept West Coast in the contest, and a win today, a home final on the line. Looking forward to seeing a quality crowd turn up here at Mineral Resources Park. Tim Gossage, welcome to the call. You did well getting up those large set of stairs.
And it's a pretty warm day, let me tell you. There's Tom Cole. Now, I stand corrected on this, but he came across my Instagram story feed last night. Not sure that it's the ideal build-up. He was at the local emergency vet with his sausage dog at about 11:15 last night.
Is that right?
I hope it's a good result.
You didn't get to the bottom of it?
I didn't get to the bottom of it, but let's hope he looks like he's in the zone today, Tommy Cole, and he'll be one of those West Coast Eagles really pressing for a spot in the finals campaign.
Well, 24 disposals and 6 tackles the last time he set foot on Mineral Resources Park against Perth. That was a quality game and pretty close to best on ground, in my opinion, Tim.
No doubt about that. Steph Stutley's watching from Wagen, home of the Matera family. Good on you, Steph. And there's lots of people watching, of course. And, well, the skipper is back. Fraser McInnes has not played for some time, and he'll be appreciating these absolutely, as Dana said, perfect conditions. Sunshine aplenty, wispy cloud at best. No real wind to worry about. And as Dana said, last Friday night's game to this game, poles apart.
No, 3 games he's been missing from the lineup, big Fraser McInnes, and you never like to miss games of this magnitude, but when you're the skipper and finals are on the line, Tim, it means that little bit more to want to get out there. So good he's overcome his quad injury and can lead the boys today.
Had a good conversation with Bill Monahan about this mob East Fremantle. There's a team of, I say this with respect, virtual no-names. There's a bit of ex-AFL experience out there, but for the best part, they are incredibly young-looking and they're not big of body. It could be a very physical game, but Bill Monahan's really happy with the progression his team's made and he's looking forward to next season with the young Sharks.
Well, they're 8th on the ladder currently as it stands, East Fremantle. And the last time these two sides met back in round 11, it was a 72-point win in favour of West Coast. That was obviously Nick Nananui's return to Waffle, his first ever game for the Waffle senior team of any variety. But 7 new players in East Fremantle's lineup, so you can tell the type of turnover they're having. They're experimenting. They want to see where the youth skill level and talent lies, as he should do at this point of their juncture.
Don't want to get too caught up in the AFL fixture because our concentration is certainly on this game here at the WAFL Eagles level. But Brisbane have narrowed the gap to 16 points against Richmond. So 14 gone in that second quarter. Richmond 6-6-42. They haven't added a goal in the second term after a 6-goal first quarter. And Brisbane are working their way back in 4-2-26, 16 points to the gap. And of course, there will be a fair bit of interest in that in regards to the West Coast Eagles AFL lineup.
Big game, Tim. No doubt we'll provide some updates for the West Coast faithful that aren't glued to their television set.
Oh, this is the bigger game right now. This is massive. This has got huge bearing on the makeup of the team there. One would suggest there will be changes from last night's fixture, of course, so there'll be a lot of guys pushing for their opportunities here.
They've done so well to get into this position, Tim. At the game, I know you weren't able to make it, but the Swan Districts game where they went down by the narrowest of margins within a kick, and we said to ourselves they're going to have to run the table in order to sneak into the 5, and they've done that thus far. It's just one more to go. And they're more than capable of probably the strongest lineup they've put on the park year to date.
No doubt. Jared Cameron, Brendan Archie. Number 24 right there. This is a player that I want everyone to look at. Now, he doesn't jump off the page. West Coast diehards would know exactly who he is. His name is Xavier O'Neill. The boy is just 19. He came of age last week. I thought in those conditions last Friday night against East Perth, he was, along with Chris Marston, was the cleanest player out there. And I hope he took some real confidence out of it because I think he's got a real future.
You're always going to have a lot of emphasis on your development when you take him with the first pick, and that was pick 28 from the 2018 draft. He has only averaged 13 disposals in his debut season in the WAFL, but obviously he will look to build on that as the seasons go on. It's always tough to come up against these full-grown men in the WAFL competition. Expect to dominate straight out of the gate, Tim.
No doubt. Now, Dana Hooker is boundary side. We're going to check in with you, Dana, at ground level. A bit of atmosphere here, plenty at stake, and you're right near the East Fremantle West Coast Eagles benches.
That I am, Goss. There's a few people slowly entering the gates now and filling up to come and watch the game. It's beautiful weather, though. I think all the locals should come down. If they're watching the stream and you're just down the road, pop on down because it's beautiful weather and we're going to be in for a cracking day today.
Slip, slop, slap, Dana, down there. I notice you're not wearing a hat, which is a bit of a concern.
Polar opposites to last week, isn't it, Dana? I mean, you had brollies, you had umbrellas, raincoats. You really were hiding for shelter. Now it's tan central.
Oh, loving it down here. Got the sunnies on today. Beats the beanie and the trench coat from last weekend.
Oh, there you are. Say hello. Turn your left. That's it. Left, Dana. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, the camera.
Yeah, that one there. The camera that's sitting next to you, Dana.
I thought you were giving me away from the box.
Nice work. Another goal to Richmond. 22 points up over Brisbane. Diploma Plumbing and Hungry Jacks bring you the WAFL Eagles feed, of course, of this action at Mineral Resources Park. Our caller is Steve Bandy.
Massive game of football this afternoon. A chance for a home final, a fourth place finish in West Coast inaugural season. Terrible bounce to kick things off here at Mineral Resources Park. Jansen the early entry, but Foley upon return takes the intercept mark. Good to see young Luke Foley, pick number 31 in the 2018 draft, returning this week from injury. His kick to the wing. It's going to come back. Not well handled there from Jubb. Archie along the deck. Fisher takes it cleanly. Handball back to Archie. That was lightning to Mutimer. Allen shirks the tackle, gives to Cole. Good pressure there from Tassoni. East Fremantle, a chance. Gives it back. This is Monahan. Lets it go to ground. His handball a tad off target. Well collected Teakle on his debut. But the goalkeeper, Big Drew Petrie, reads it best. Gives to Foley and West Coast can clear.
Had a go at Drew Petrie last week for being the only player in the Eagles team not to have a dirty jumper as shorts in those conditions. And he turned around and said, it's all part of keeping your feet. It's all part of keeping your feet. So he had an answer for everything, the big man.
Vardy's kick to the wing. Brooksby did well to create a contest. Brings it to ground. Brayshaw, little chip down the wing. Reed outbodies his opponent, takes a good mark. Oh, is it 50 metres? Yes, and I think it's encroaching on the mark against Jansen. It couldn't be anything else. No one else within earshot.
Yeah, not what you need when you've worked extremely hard for the opening couple of minutes, and East Fremantle have looked the better team in the opening 90 seconds. Just a lack of cleanliness inside their forward 50, but this is a chance for the West Coast Eagles. They do get blocked here by the West Coast Eagles headquarters and training venue, so he'll be basically kicking from 45 metres directly in front with no wind to worry about.
The former Claremont Colt in Nick Reed had 9 tackles against East Perth last week in the wet. Got down and dirty. His kick towards goal. It's hooked, but mark on the line. It's paid. Nathan Vardy takes it somewhat uncontested against Jupp.
it's not somewhat, it was 100% uncontested. Everyone thought it was going to cross the line. Vardy was quick of thinking, clever work.
Very difficult angle, but he gets a few cracks at these during the week at the West Coast Eagles training sessions. Opts for the banana. What a perler from Nathan Vardy. West Coast the first to strike.
Yeah, the big Vards, and that was a goal out of nothing. The Reed kick sort of hung up a little bit and was going to look like it was going to clear the line. The East Fremantle last line of defence were caught napping, fair to say, but that's a very good start from Nathan Vardy and a good start for the West Coast Eagles to get the first goal of the game.
3 goals to the big ruckman the last time he set foot on Mineral Resources Park against Perth. They were in very dry conditions, and let's hope from a West Coast Eagles standpoint he can replicate that.
Plenty of people watching on Facebook and YouTube, but the Facebook responses are fantastic. Adam Selwood is watching. It's a name synonymous to our club.
Couldn't get off the couch and come into work today?
Yeah, probably busy, mate. Probably busy. It's been a big week for sellers, but everyone is on board, so that's a good start for the West Coast Eagles.
Perfect bounce from the umpire. Bailey Williams got a big task this afternoon against Jonathan Griffin.
Yep.
Ball trickles out to Matty Allen. He's taken to ground by Fletcher, who makes his way back into the lineup this week. Had a 3-week stint down at the reserves, but Sean Fletcher has regained his position for the final home and away round for East Fremantle. Williams hits the deck. Mutimer wrestles with Fletcher. And we'll do it all again.
Griffin's going to have the strength in these little shoulder-to-shoulder ruck battles, but when they go at each other, Williams could probably jump over the veteran East Fremantle ruckman.
Boakhorse can't handle it cleanly. Williams overruns it. Archie, handball, just off target, but Brayshaw mops up with a quality clinging tackle.
He'd like a clean run at it, wouldn't he?
Hamish Brayshaw.
Yeah, just through a couple of injuries. He got an injury down at South Fremantle early doors in the season, but he's a very hard player to get past. He's a strong tackler. 24
disposals last week and 7 inside 50s. He was pumping it in constantly, was Hamish Brayshaw. Obviously had a month out this year with turf toe. And I'm sure he'd love his body to hold up during the business end of the year. Cole, short kicking board, finds Mutimer. Still just 22 years of age is Kurt Mutimer. His damaging left foot finds Cole. Oh, it's a dangerous ball to midfield. Well chopped off there from Teakle. Gives to Bennett. Rebillard can't stick the tackle. Gives to Erdley. Sees something he likes at centre-half forward. Monahan, acres of space. He wants to move it quickly to the pocket. Bachman in best position, just goes over his outstretched hands, and Watson happy to see it over the boundary line.
There's that 45 kick that if you don't land it, it can come back over your head to hurt you. So it was well played by East Fremantle. They kicked to the pocket, put just a bit too much on it, but they've now in the got the stoppage in 25 metres out, so they're in a handy spot to get their first score.
All numbers inside East Fremantle's forward half for this throw-in. Archie just gets boot to ball to Sony. Wrapped up by Brayshaw. The ball squibs out. Williams wants to go wide. Davidson intercepts. Mutimer there. He's taken to ground, and the umpire, no choice but to ball it up. Dana, down on the boundary line. What have you got for us, Dana?
Yeah, cheers, Thumper. Well, looking at the East Fremantle forward line, they're without Luke Stranatica today, who's actually their leading goal kicker on 20. Tom Monahan's on 18, so if he can snag a couple today, he will actually go on to be East Freo's leading goal kicker.
Yes, an unfortunate concussion from Stranatica last week and unable to take his place in the side. Can play. I think the Sharks will certainly miss his elite work rate in the forward half of the ground. Still just one straight to the Sharks yet to get off the mark. Williams, deft little tap to Hamish Brayshaw, read it perfectly. Kicks a bit long for Vardy, Jupp handling him. In the end, a free kick against Nathan. Umpire wants it recalled back over the mark. Has Boakhorst, untidy kick, bit of a Yorker. Falls over, handball. They're under the pump a little bit here, the Sharks. The kick, bit off target, gave McInnes a look in, but Creasy handles it best. Lester Smith, good ball use, finds Davies.
They're out the back here, East Fremantle. They've got one who's 30 metres on his own inside the forward 50. That's Corey Holmes. He's on his own, still been on his own, and the kick's going to come up 5 metres short. So well done, Tom Cole.
Boakhorse torpedo, not the desired result for the Sharks, and Tommy Cole wraps it up. Umpire wants him to move it on, goes to the wing. Brooksby pushed out of it. Umpire says legally.
Yeah,
no, how's it?
Non-controller. think.
Yeah.
The umpire may have called it.
Late but correct.
There's the replay for Hungry Jacks and also Diploma Plumbing. For all your plumbing needs, diplomaplumbing.com.au. Bring us Waffle Eagles. Hope you're enjoying the coverage on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Plenty at stake for the Eagles at this level. Of course, win and they're in the finals.
Brooksby delivers it long. Roubiliard gives to Brayshaw, but he had zero room to operate. Roubiliard back onto it. Gray gets in the road of his grubber kick. He's taken by 3 Sharks in the middle of the centre square. And we'll see a ball up.
Richmond by 28 points, 22 gone second quarter against Brisbane, 8-6 to 4-2.
You're ruining moods over here, Goss.
Just keeping you up there.
Vardy, quality tap out, finds Mutimer. He slams it on the boot. Williams, good spoil there from Winton. Reid can't handle it. He's got a second chance, does Nick Reid. He's dispossessed. Vardy claimed. Mutimer off the deck. Might have falconed someone. Brayshaw, back feed. This is Tommy Cole. Knows how to use it, and Chaz Flint back into the lineup this week. Almost falls over, going a bit too quick. Back on the mark. Doesn't have the distance, looking for Reid, and that's quality use of the body there from Nick Reid. Initiated contact early and just too big and too strong for Creasy on that occasion.
Yeah, very good football, and well done by Flint to get back. And kick to space, they opened it up for him, and that's just a good straightforward lead and a wonderful disposal. So a big chance. He's been an outstanding contributor as a top-up player, as Nick Reid.
Second in the leading goal kicking stakes for West Coast. Chance for his second shot in the opening quarter. It's through for a blemish.
Archie, 5 disposals, 4 to Cole, 4 to Mutimer, and 3 to Erdley, and also Blake Brockhurst and Matty Jupp have 2 each, along with Tom Monahan for the Sharks. Some early stats.
Davies with the kick-out duties on this occasion. Spots Erdley. He wants to come broadcast side with a helicopter punch. Schofield reading it best. Good to see him back into the lineup this week after being the travelling emergency against the Tigers.
Must have been close to a game last night.
Long kick, dangerous area. Vardy flies, as too does Jupp. The ladder back onto this one, but in the end, the boundary line winning out. No, it's a big game for anyone on the fringe of AFL selection today, Tim. Obviously, the 38-point loss to the Hawks will certainly open things up for the fringe players looking to get a look in. Vardy front position. Fletcher puts Erdley under pressure. Holmes handball. Manning braces for contact against Watson. Schofield lining up Murphy on that occasion. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, the tackle count certainly up and about for East Fremantle at the moment. They lead the tackle count 12-6. Can be construed either way, that you're tackling because you don't have the ball, but West Coast have it in their front half.
Brooksby wins the hit out, but Fletcher claims it. Oh, high tackle possibly on that occasion. Umpire lets it go. Probably the right decision in the end there.
There's the replay. Yeah, I don't think it was high. He lifted the right arm and it slipped straight up over the top. Good call by the umpire.
Oh, well read there from Chaz Flint. Kicks it straight into the knee of Erdley. He's been lively early as Chaz Flint.
Oh, whack. Replays are sharp today, boys. Keep up the good work in the truck. Nice work. Hope you're enjoying the action for Hungry Jacks.
Thought Dana Hooker was going to get some crumbs there. She's right at the front of this contest as Griffin has front position. Bennett moves well through traffic. Boakhorse just spirals one to half forward. Petrie plays the percentages rock solid as Drew Petrie been in the back half of the 2019 season.
I know it's semantics one way. I would like these ruckmen to stand about 5 metres closer. These boundary umpires are really struggling to get it in. They are so deep, these ruckmen, and it really is a shallow throw. Be in front. Here it is again. Look at this. Look at that throw in right there. So basically it's first, if you're on your back heels, you're going to get caught out every time in these stoppages. Very important message to both coaching staff. There is the shallow throw, and those players are 10, 12 metres too deep.
Stokes in his second league game going against Brooksby in the hit out. Jared Camera, good defensive pressure. Fisher's kick is smothered. Bennett just throws it on the boot. Goes about 4 metres in the end. O'Neill reads it best. Chaz Flint, been hot early. Kick to half forward. Heberton moves well inside. Got a couple of options in the corridor. It's dropped there by Holmes, but they still have it, the Sharks. Erdley Great smother from Rotham. West Coast on the counter. Matty Allen, not a ton to kick to. Archie attempts the one-hander, can't bring it in. This is where Cameron's at his most dangerous. Great defensive pressure there from the Sharks. Gray scrubs the kick forward. It's going to be all Heberton, and in the end, happy to see it over the line.
No prior opportunity there for Cameron Bass. We're all young small forwards, you don't have to be young, have to be. It was good chasing tackle by Instrumental. They're defending well. West Coast only leading by 7 points. We've gone 12.5 minutes first quarter for Hungry Jags and Diploma Plumbing.
Williams.
Shall I throw in again?
Uncontested. Here's a chance. Slams into the woodwork. Very well read from the throw-in. You're dead right, Goss.
Here it is again. Again, shallow throw-in. I'm not having a crack at the boundary umpire so much. I'm having a go at the ruckman for being too deep.
Flynn applies a good tackle there. Jansen. Just a little deft tap to Murphy.
Nice.
Good kick. This is Lester Smith. His handball to Manning's a little untidy, but they make it work. Bachman gets around Cole a little easy, but his kick is well chopped off from Matty Allen. Petrie goes wide to Brooksby. O'Neill. Kick has to be precise. Cameron didn't have much of a chance. Baskerville collects for the Sharks to Sony. 2-metre kick to Fletcher. He bombs it long. Edwards in best position. Has the height against Monahan. The coach's son did a great position. Bit of tunnel ball there from Drew Petrie. Rotham called for it. That was crafty stuff. That was Willie Rioli-like from last night, Goss.
Absolutely. That's very much the tunnel ball along the ground.
That's the Sharks' first score of the afternoon. West Coast 1-2-8.
Cam Erdley,
Rotham.
I'll go down to Dana in a moment.
Oh, that kick is pinned. Point to Matty Allen. Didn't have too much room for error there to Josh Rotham.
Dana, you got some news on the boundary line?
Yeah, I do, Goss. If you just have a look across the bench, I'm not sure if the camera's on it, but Cam Erdley, he's getting taped up. He's just had some padding on his ribs. That contest that was near where I'm sitting earlier on about 5 minutes ago and play, he copped that hard hit to the ribs and he's just getting padded up now, so he looks a bit sore.
Yeah, that was the Chaz Flint kick, I think it might have been.
That's right, yes.
The leg, so there it is there. That would hurt for the rest of the afternoon, but I'm sure the West Coast Eagles will be aware of that.
Allen takes it on the not preferred. Goes down the line. Fisher opts for the spoil. McInnes doing his best at ground level. In the end, he locks it up for a ball up. Great to see the skipper back out there today. 14 AFL games in his 8 years on the list. Been a true warrior for this footy club.
Nice.
Archie, he's well tackled by Tassoni, and Fletcher just tackles Tassoni. Bit of tackle by association there.
Now the West Coast Eagles have got Bailey Williams at one out in the goal square with Jupp. They want to get the ball in quick to him.
Almost collected with the one hand there from Allen. Rebillard goes off the deck. Williams in great position to receive. Jupp dispossesses him and gets it back. Good give to Bailey. Good stout defence here from the Sharks. Fletcher's kick makes it hard for Stokes. Schofield was riding him. Holmes very clean below the knees there. Deals with the pressure of Foley. Goes down the line, but it's all Drew Petrie or boundary line. The latter winning out.
Yeah, it was good pressure on the boundary line because Stokes was trying to straighten things up, but he was under pressure when he kicked it, forcing the error.
Allen wants corridor. Finds it in Foley. Not too many options. The Sharks have zoned up very well here.
Yeah, not a lot of movement behind the Eagles forward line.
Vardy's the target. Well spoiled there from Stokes. Archie a chance from behind. Kicks round the body. Williams drops a chest mark in the end. Winton under the pump. Overruns it. Heberton happy to lock this one away, and the Sharks get away with one there.
Yeah, Jupp's done a good job and a couple of one-outs now with Williams and whoever has played on, so he's going to be a hard one to get past throughout the day. He's been impressive early, Matty Jupp.
Big ruck contest here. Griffin v Williams. Griffin wins out. Superior height. Bit of Jackie Chan fly kick from Williams. Almost the impossible jump. No awareness. Almost run down. Just gets the grubber kick away. And it works perfectly. A little push in the back there. Umpire saw every bit of it.
You can argue whether it's over the line or not. You just can't do it.
Chaz Flint almost directing it to Creasy on that occasion. Little back feed. Baskerville goes down the line, 2v1.
Make that 3-on-1.
Schofield does well, has Edwards in support, wants corridor, kick is dangerous, showed plenty of it to Holmes, but O'Neill takes it on this occasion.
Thanks to Diploma Plumbing. Hope you're enjoying the action here from Mineral Resources Park, East Fremantle and West Coast. The Eagles up by 7 points.
Reid just gets the kick away. Don't think that travelled 15, and I think McInnes had something to say about it.
I'll tell you what, he's not feeling too good on the ground either. Let me tell you, Nick Reid is in the hands of the trainer right in front of Dana Hooker. And the trainers are calling for some assistance. He is down and in real trouble.
Here we go, replay. Oh, head hitting the turf. You would think perhaps some kind of concussion there for Nick Reid. That didn't look good at all, bouncing off the Mineral Resources turf.
There's another shallow throw in. I can't get this message out to him quick enough.
Back to the action. We'll get an update as soon as we can from Dana, who is right in front of Nick Reid. Here's a chance for the Sharks. Monahan keeps his feet, takes one bounce. I think he's going to have to go for the big sticks. He's kept it skinny though. Big chance goes begging there for the Sharks.
Dana, you're on boundary. Give us an update on Nick Reid.
He's looking a little bit better than he was about 45 seconds ago, but I think they're just having a look at his shoulder as well as his head there too. Obviously a clear concussion, but some concerns around the shoulder as well.
He's not getting off too good. He's got the ball-bearing shoes on at the moment. Nick Reid walking off right in front of Dana Hooker on the boundary line for Hungry Jacks.
Cole going long, couple of tall timber options, and Brooksby, quality hands there in the South Australian. Kicks it to the man on the mark on this occasion. Good defence there from Winton. West Coast need to be cool here in this circumstance, and that's quality defence there from Winton. Shaved his beard for the first time in surely years.
Did that throw you out, did it?
What do you reckon?
Well, you don't recognise folks when they shave a beard off, do they?
Hey, you got to pick up on these little slight characteristics.
Just take a look at his number, that'll help you.
Stitch me up. Good body work there from Fletcher. Goes on the left. Big contest in the pocket. Edwards does well. Fist to the line. Foley keeps it in. Good clearing kick. Oh, Vardy, strong hands there from the Premiership Eagle.
We'll start getting bang for their buck, West Coast. Plenty of the footy. Not clean, though.
Archie, one of the best handballers in the AFL. No exception. Brayshaw's kick made it tough for Gray. Davies. Oh, geez, he's done that well. In fact, great Shepherd from jump to allow the space. They're not out of trouble here. Baskerville just gets away from the Rebelliard tackle. And he's got it. Centre of the ground. Perfect kick on this occasion. Beautiful. Goes for high and a loose target inside 50. Top of the goal square is Stokes. And tremendous synergy between the two inclusions today.
Take you all the way back. The defensive pressure inside that forward 50 for the Eagles was not up to their normal standard. They're allowed to march the ball out too easy. Transition football. The Eagles got caught out in that transition. Now they're lining up to draw level.
Missed all of last season, did Andrew Stokes. A chance for East Fremantle's first goal. Had the bend, but just stuck it right.
Yeah, well, if I was the West Coast Eagles forward half players, I'd be breathing a sigh of relief on that miss, because as much as they had the free ball, as I said, they haven't been clean forward of the centre at the moment, but their lack of intensity inside their forward 50 was average and notable.
Good fly there from Vardy, almost takes it on the second grab, but West Coast prevail. Brooksby has a ton of space. He's got Cameron, but the kick's a little long for him. Well read. East Fremantle, a chance. Jump the handball early in some strife. Put his teammate under the pump. Rebelliard, good back feed to Cameron. His only option is long. Brayshaw needs to provide a contest, but that's strong from Davidson. The switch is on. They have the extra number on this side. If it sits for Tassoni, it does. This is Jansen. Short kick is on. Oh, didn't have much room to play with, but found Lester Smith.
It's a one-goal game. A one-goal game. Perfect conditions. Plenty of football. But again, it's just breaking down forward of centre for West Coast.
Long kick. Schofield. Very uncharacteristically with the mark. Does well, does Will Schofield.
Yeah, the half-back line in their full... In fact, the back six have been very good for West Coast when being allowed to go one-on-one with their opposition. But again, I don't want to harp on it, but that whatever happens forward of the centre, I don't think Luke Webster and the coaching staff would be all that wrapped with the pressure, allowing each man to march the ball out and break through a number of tackles.
Watson needs to think on his feet. Does well. Foley. Kick is dangerous. Bokhorst read it best, and he's off and running. One bounce. Ignore the runner on the outside. Gee, Stokes has got absolutely acres for the second time in 2 minutes. No opponent seemingly in the forward 50.
Can't be a lot of confidence in his shot from this position, considering he missed one from 15 out directly in front just 2 minutes ago. But these are the ones they'll kick. It's what they do. They make a liar of you. Goal here, and Fremantle deservedly so would be in front. West Coast haven't been all that clean so far today.
Is this a bit of reward for effort for the Sharks? Jeez, he's given it a fair right. That's from the top shelf. A Diploma Plumbing goal of the day contender in the opening quarter.
What about that? Hey, couldn't hit the side of a barn with his shot a couple of minutes ago. And then, as expected, and there's the kick. There's the turnover on the back foot. And that's good from Bokhorst. He does have some genuine dash. It's a good kick. He spotted up a man. And that's something the Eagles haven't been able to do, spot up a free man inside their forward 50. But East Fremantle have done it on a couple of occasions now. So well done to the Sharks, and they deserve this, albeit small lead. Thanks to Hungry Jackson. I went to get the burger.
Now, I'm short of chips right now, so where are they?
I went there, and the queue was that long.
Don't they know who you are? Don't you know you're 30 years in the business?
My face is my badge, but unfortunately it doesn't get me a burger at Hungry Jack's. But anyway, plenty of business there. And I will say, and I say this without fear nor favour, they are the best burgers of a Hungry Jack's in any metropolitan store right here at Mineral Resources Park. But they're not here, there's no game and they're not open.
West Coast with the majority of play in this opening quarter, but still trailing by a point as we tick over 23 minutes in the opening term. Good low-down catch there from Robiliard. Wants to move it fast. Flint ducks back inside. Brayshaw wants to give it a ride. Has he got the distance? What an absolute belter from Hamish Brayshaw.
Yep, much better, much better. And when you can't connect with someone inside 50, go it alone from outside 50. That's a very good goal. Let's go boundary side. Dana Hooker's down there for Diploma Plumbing. For all your plumbing needs, go to diplomaplumbing.com.au.
Yeah, guys, I was just having a look at the West Coast forward structure, and they made a change just before that goal. Probably didn't need it anyway, but there's now Brooksby, Vardy and McInnes, so three big tall timbers up forward now. Before they got caught out with a couple of smalls are the only players ahead of the footy, so they've made that change quick.
Yeah, nice spotting, Dana Hooker. And that was a wonderful goal by Hamish Brayshaw. So goal so far to Vardy and Brayshaw, and Stokes has kicked the only goal, and it was a beauty too for East Fremantle.
His second year on the list, Hamish Brayshaw, one of many West Coast Eagles out of contract and always playing for your future in those scenarios, but will want a fantastic end to the season. Mutimer, brilliant little half turn, sends it long, inside 50. Brooksby and Vardy caught behind on that occasion, and Jupp cashes in.
That's been good, very good. That's not so flash.
Short kick, put Creasy under pressure. Robiliard did well to close him down. Manning, clean pick up, well taken there from the truck, Matty Allen. Ball spills out, in fact it's holding the ball. One bloke you don't want to be tackled by. Look at the size of him. Absolute monster. Had a quality year as Matty Allen. This kick makes it very difficult for big Fraser McInnes. Manning has this on the wing. Handball over the top. Bokhorst doesn't have a lot of time. Flint loved his first quarter. Tackle is rewarded. 1-2. Watson. Jeez, he's got himself into a little bit of trouble. Umpire calls play on. That was silky clean from Fletcher, but the big man, Fraser McInnes, quality smother. Fletcher back onto it. East Fremantle have retreated, but in the end they have the release in Murphy.
Yeah, they switched sides. It wasn't happening on the far wing. They just want to retain possession here now, closing in on quarter time, trailing by just 5 points. But the skill level on some of these kicks, not good on a beautiful day for footy.
It's going to work for Baskerville. Early's handball. Jupp. Tassoni running through. They have the overlap with the boundary. The siren wins out of quarter time. Interesting first quarter here at Mineral Resources Park. West Coast seeming in control of this contest, but East Fremantle giving them a fair shake in what is a massive game of footy from the West Coast Eagles perspective, Tim.
Yeah, very much polar opposites, the two goals for the West Coast Eagles. Vardy took a mark on the goal line when everyone fell asleep. Banana one through, and Brayshaw bombed one long from inside the square. And the Stokes goal for East Fremantle, the only goal, was a beauty from the boundary line after missing a put from directly in front. For Hungry Jacks and Diploma Plumbing, We're bringing you the telecast here from Mineral Resources Park. Thanks for watching on Facebook. That quarter went 26 minutes and 11 seconds. It is 2-2-14 to 1-3-9. Let's take a look at the highlights for Hungry Jacks. And, well, I will say the highlights will be few and far between. It wasn't the cleanest of quarters, Steve Bandy.
No, surprising in conditions like this. I thought they'd be relishing these conditions after torrential downpour at Leederville Oval. Nathan Vardy cashing in a little bit of something from nothing as Nick Reed's shot on target was well off. Chaz Flint, I've liked his first quarter. Good delivery there to Nick Reed, unable to convert on that occasion. And let's hope Nick Reed is in safe hands. That's the incident there. Bit of head hitting the turf, and obviously that shoulder strapping, some concern from the West Coast Medical Camp. We'll look to get an update as time goes on here in this game.
This is their goal. This is that was Bokhorst, who was just fantastic in his breaking the lines, and that was a lovely goal from Stokes. As I said, he missed one earlier, and there it is, just outside 50, in between the centre square, bombed it long. And that sort of takes out any of the equation of turning over the footy. I can tell you that was a lovely goal from the West Coast Eagles as Mark Nikoski is down there talking to his back 6 or 7. It's Nico, and the hat and the long hair. The West Coast Eagles defensive coach. A lot to do with the development of this back 6. In the meantime, we're here on a beautiful day for footy. This is a crucial game. West Coast Eagles win, they'll make the Waffle Finals. And bringing us the telecast, of course, are our good friends from Hungry Jacks.
Is there anything better than Hungry Jack's thick cut chips?
Yeah, Hungry Jack's large chips for just $2.
Or a cheesy cheeseburger for $2 and a nuggets and chips carry cup only $3. Penny pinchers everyday value at Hungry Jack's.
Yes, and there's Chance Bateman talking to the forward half as well. So let's give you a quick score check if you're just tuning in as well. That half-time at the MCG, and it is Richmond by 26 points, 8-6-54 to 4-4-28. So if Richmond continue on this way, West Coast will finish 5th in the AFL and have our home final next week.
Against the Bombers, Tim, it'll be Optus Stadium and a very tall task for Essendon, but what would mean 3 weeks of travel to go back and do it all again in season 2019. Tough ask, but has been done before.
Yeah, very capable. Don't worry about that. There's Jared Cameron. It's a pretty warm day. I will say that. I know he's got the towel on the head. It starts off cold. Well done to everyone. I think Matt Rosa did the 12K the City to Surf today.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a long, he said, quote, unquote, the longest he has run ever in one sustained period of time. But he looked very fit and fresh, but said it was beautiful to start with. Just started to warm up as he hit the finish line.
You ever run a City to Surf in your time?
I have walked 2.
So you haven't run it then?
No.
Is the big one or 12?
12.
Right.
Why would I? What's the big one, mate?
Oh, isn't there a monster marathon? Isn't there one bigger than 12?
Yeah, there's 42.
Why don't you walk that
21.
one? That could take you a week.
There's 42 and there's 21. Are we going downstairs? I think we might be. Where's Dana? Dana Hooker shortly.
We see some of the West Coast Eagles on the
there they are.
on the balcony there. Midfield stoppage coach Nathan Van Berlo. The head, what would you call it, fitness coach, Warren Kofed, doing a marvellous job. And Gavin Bell, head of development. Looking forward to hearing his insights at quarter time with Dana Hooker. Who have we got there in the playing colours? Jackson Nelson, Oscar Allen, all these young pups just on their phone. Jake Waterman.
They're probably watching the Facebook feed. Give us a wave, lads, on the face.
I'm willing to bet everything I own that they won't be doing that. You know, when they were in Melbourne for the Richmond game and they were all watching as a team collective.
How did we go?
Well, they muted it. So that's how we were going.
Sorry?
They muted the game. Watched it, minus T. Gossage S. Bandy.
Based on what?
Form, I guess.
Probably not bad idea, actually.
Well, if you're going to do it for one game, I'm glad they did it for that one. Very difficult to call.
Very true. It was Dana Hooker is working the boundary line in great form. Gavin Bell, of course, was taking the quarter-time huddle for the best part, standing in front of the board of stats. East Fremantle under Bill Monahan still in their huddle. 2-2-14 to 1-3-9 is the scoreline here. And just repeating the AFL score at halftime, it is Richmond 8-6-54 to the Lions 4-4-28. Gavin Bell, he was addressing the players at quarter time. I don't know whether he'd be all that pleased with that start. Let's go down to Dana Hooker and find out.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, Belly, An interesting start to the game, very tight contest, plenty of inside 50s, but East Fremantle's defence has held strong.
Yeah, the Sharks have brought great pressure and intensity around the ball, and they're moving it really quickly as well. So it's a really good challenge for our young players to be able to adapt to that, but also match their pressure and win that contested ball.
Obviously a lot on the line today. A win will mean a finals berth. Is that playing on the players' minds? Did you address that at the start of the game?
Every week we just talk about controlling what we can, and today it's about our effort and our attitude and the energy that we bring, so that's been our primary focus.
Nick Reid looking a little bit sore on the bench there from that hit. How's he going?
Yeah, he'll take no further part, unfortunately, but out with concussion.
Look, thanks very much for the insights. Good luck, and we'll see you at the end of it.
Thanks, Dana. Cheers.
Thanks, Billy.
Good on you. There's Dana Hook with Gavin Bell. So bad news, Nick Reid out with concussion. Some stats, 61 kicks to 44 West Coast way, 40 to 35 handballs East Fremantle's way. The marks 26-18 for the Eagles, tackles at 22 apiece, 14 to 8 hit-outs West Coast way, and inside 50s 13-9 to the West Coast Eagles, and they lead on the scoreboard by 5 points. We're here for Hungry Jacks and Diploma Plumbing. All your plumbing needs, go to diplomaplumbing.com.au. Mineral Resources Park, second quarter action. Your caller is Steve Bandy. The Eagles lead by 5.
A goal to Brisbane, shrinking the lead at the MCG, 34 plays 54, keeping a slight eye on that contest, but we're back here at Mineral Resources Park. West Coast needing a quality second term against this seemingly persistent Shark outfit. Manning, sweeping handball, looking for Tassoni. Wants to wait for the bounce. Rotham pressing. Little give. This is Lester Smith. Opts for the long ball. Edwards gets a fist in there. Allen, he's claimed immediately by a couple of Sharks. Crowd wants ball. Umpire thinking about it and commits. Good pressure there from East Fremantle.
There's the replay. So he gathered it, and there. Well, the prior was in between one tackle and the second tackle. I would say he had 0.01 of a second to get rid of it. So tough call on him, but forward pressure, yeah. Truck Allen not happy, but he gets the hard ball, Truck. So it's not too often he does get pinged for holding the ball, but Holmes has a shot for goal. This will be a good start to the second term. This will put East Fremantle in front inside a minute.
Corey Holmes was the third tackler in that sequence. Got a league call up last week against the Demons. 12 disposals and a goal. Held on to his position. A chance for a perfect start for the Sharks, and he nurses it home.
Yeah, that's a good goal based on a strong tackle. I'm not so sure it was holding the ball. It was a tough call. So it was gone before that. He was the third tackler. I'm not too sure the damage was already done, but gee, unlucky for that. But good start for East Fremantle. And again, Bill Monahan would have been asking for more of that pressure. We heard from Gavin Bell from the Eagles about the intensity and pressure that East Fremantle have brought to the game so far. And this young West Coast Eagles lineup matching that as well. But at this stage, handy start to the Sharks to take the lead for the first time in the game. Here's Nick Reid with the tracksuit top on. Just got his head bowed there, of course.
It's a big loss, Goss. I mean, it's a tall forward line as it stands for West Coast. And you lose someone of Nick Reid, who's averaging, 15 disposals on the year. He can do it in the air and on the ground. Williams spun a couple of times. Umpire gives him some latitude. Crowd had a bit of a chuckle in front of us, Goss, of how that was allowed to continue.
Mitchie Andrews is watching. It's Claremont Ruckman, one of the all-time good blokes of footy. Good on you, Mitchie.
No Ruckman getting a piece of this one. Tassoni. Claimed immediately by Brayshaw. Hamish Brayshaw, obviously brothers of the two AFL stars in Angus and Andrew. Williams just deals with his opponent too easily on that occasion. Pumps it forward into the 50. Vardy in good position. It was after Cameron with a little deft tap. He may get a second chance if this spills out. It does. Archie needs a long snap from 40. The bounce, can it help him? It has point. It's stuck on its point. What a beautiful little Nathan Lyon off break.
It certainly was. We'll need more of that tonight over there in England. It was a good goal by Archie. It was a good hand pass out of the congestion too by Vardy. Always good to have some outlets out the back, and that was very, very clever work by Brendan Archie. Nice work. Of course, one of the emergencies for the weekend. He was in the squad, and he was again one of those players that if you get fined plenty of the footy, he will be putting pressure on. So there's the diploma goal of the day contender, getting the job done, Brendan Archie. Here it is here. So Vardy now, it's just lurking the pack, picked it up around his bootstraps, didn't think about it, didn't have a, first thought's the best thought for 95% of the time. It's a long goal from around the corner too, and he did get the kind on-point bounce. So the Eagles arrest the lead back. So again, a little bit more free-flowing scoring at the moment inside 4 minutes of the second quarter, and it's a goal apiece, and West Coast up by 5 points.
Umpire to restart play back here in the middle. Bounce favours Griffin. He's hit out. Can't find a teammate. Brayshaw emerges. Sends it to the hot spot. The flyer, Gray, can't take it on the second occasion. Baskerville's got some trouble. Archie, round the corner on the left. Good goalkeeper save on that occasion from jump. Saving a certain goal. We've got Dana Hooker, boundary side. Dana.
Yeah, thanks, Stump. I just noticed Andrew Fisher was quite forward of the ball to what he usually is playing defence most of this season, but he actually started in that centre bounce there, so he's been moved on ball, so something different.
Yeah, they like him, there's no doubt about that. He was actually captain of the team a couple of weeks ago as well, rewarded for his wonderful resilience to, once again, a top-up player has really stepped up.
Bokhorst steaming out of defence.
He was pinned in then, Bokhorst, but he just says, well, I can outrun you, so I will. Incredibly quick. Of course, played a few games for Carlton.
Bockman, long kick, Holmes, outmatched there from Tommy Cole. Good intercept grab from the 2018 Premiership Eagle. Penetrating kick to the flank. Vardy floating across the face, can't take it cleanly. Davies, little give to Davidson. Oh, misses Bockman by a fair margin, and Cole, second intercept in a couple of minutes. Bit of a hobble there from Tommy Cole.
Yeah, he just got a knee on knee, or just a bit of a corky from Bockman.
Again, long option is best. To ruckman fly, Williams does his own roving. Oh, he's got Brooksby all on his lonesome. Easy goal coming up here for the West Coast Eagles. And they forgot about Big Keegan at the back of the pack.
Yeah, he was lurking with intent in the goal square, and it was well done by Williams. He had to free the arms up. He was caught in congestion. He knew he was there, had a quick glance, I reckon, and saw him. Then he had to free the arms up and have enough on the hand passes to take a look at a Diploma goal of the day contender. Getting the job done, diplomaplumbing.com.au. So here's the kick from Cole. So he took the mark on the intercept. Have a look here. So I reckon Williams frees up, then there, had to spin there, and then he actually knew he had to get it out. It was clever thinking, had to free their hands up. Well done Bailey Williams, and well done to Keegan Brooksby to connect. So all of a sudden, albeit only back-to-back goals from the West Coast Eagles, you do feel the Eagles are starting to dominate, and they're starting to dominate in the middle of the ground. That's making a heck of a difference.
2-1 in the second term in favour of the West Coast. Keegan Brooksby played in every game so far in season 2019. A fantastic effort after a horrendous season with injury a couple of years back.
He's a survivor. How about that? See what I did there? See what I did there?
Are you happy with that, are you?
Survivor.
The AFL record doesn't read great. I think it's 0-14 of the old Gold Coast Sun, but the South Adelaide captain, runner-up in the BNF last year. Keegan Brooksby can play the game. Don't worry about that.
It provides great support for a young Bailey Williams, and that's what Keegan has done so far. They're out here again.
Archie releasing handball. Doesn't sit for Brayshaw. Archie, little tap to Rotham. West Coast getting a little cute with that handball from O'Neill, but it's going to work for Flint. Gives over the top. Rotham, very little time. Great run. Chaz Flint following up well. Wants to give the ruckman a fair shot at it. Brooksby can't take it. McInnes just fumbles last minute. Nathan Vardy, look at the big fellas do work. Gives to McInnes. Left foot check side. It's hit the post.
Sharing the love. Nathan Vardy certainly being the provider down there, the big fella. Would have been a third goal in 3 minutes for West Coast. Hit the post.
Long kick, looking for Manning. He collects. Did well to snap that one around the body. Monahan has to do his best work. Rotham would like to keep this in, does. Schofield has one back of play. It's Edwards, and West Coast have control.
Switch it out wide. They could go wide to Watson if they so please. They're going to go straight through the middle.
And it's, oh, he's gone about 2 weeks too early.
Free kick.
It is going to be a Shepherd. I wouldn't mind seeing the eyes. Yeah, Bokhorst, no eyes for the ball. And hasn't he let Archie off the hook on that occasion. Play goes on. Kick to full forward. Brooksby has 2 to beat. Jump in support. Cameron, can he be his creative best? The boundary line wins out.
I'm not so sure whether what came first, the chicken or the egg. I've got a feeling that Archie was up before the Shepherd came out, to be brutally honest with you. That was, I think, a very lucky decision going West Coast way.
He's had a few contenders this year, Archie, in the market of the year.
Round one thumper.
Well, not round one, it was our round one.
Our round one. So, well, West Coast.
We're still recovering our concussion from hitting our heads on the roof of that game. Allen claimed immediately from Bennett. And that was a solid tackle because Matty Allen had eyes for goals on that occasion.
So the game being played in the forward half for West Coast, so they look a little bit more organised. I'm liking this structure, as Dana mentioned, 3 big tools.
Vardy wants to go it alone. Snap round the body. Doesn't have enough bend on it. Through for a minor score. 14-point lead for the West Coast Eagles.
13-point lead, Richmond too. Brisbane are coming. 8-6-54 to 6-5-41.
It's all happening. Gotta love your footy, Goss.
What about Lockie Neal's day at the MCG? 30 disposals at the 11-minute mark of the 3rd quarter.
Wouldn't mind him doing a bit more, if we're being honest. Get a lead, will you?
He might get 50.
O'Neill, quality contested ball, that one.
This guy's got on the string at the moment.
Allen Archie, that is a precise ball.
Too good.
To Robiliard off the left boot, if you don't mind, but in the end, Robiliard couldn't capitalise. We'll have a ball up, throw in rather.
I'll get some waffling stats for you in regards to Archie, because I think he's having a fair day. He's had 11 disposals, 7 and 4 and a goal. A couple of tackles as well.
He's doing it all inside and out at the moment, is Archie.
Jupp's had 10, 5 and 5 for East Fremantle, and Truck and Williams have had 9. Matty Allen and Bailey Williams, 9.
Another shallow throw in.
Have I mentioned the shallow throw-in?
I don't think so. Give us another run through in a little bit.
Get in front when there's a boundary throw-in, because they throw it 10 metres short than everybody else.
Griffin wins out, looking for Fletcher, but he's having to play the role of defence on this occasion. Brings O'Neill to ground. Umpire took a while.
So these are waffle boundary umpires throwing to AFL-type ruckman. They can't throw it as far as they can in the AFL. That's fact. Get closer.
Fletcher, little give to Boakhorst, feigns one. Just gets the kick away. Creasy under the pump. Flint strips him. Gray in a phone booth. Does well. Oh, it would have been a shot on goal from Matty Allen, but the boundary umpire.
Hats off to the boundary ump. Spot on.
Killing all the fun on that occasion.
Here we go. So here it is again. So I would have loved, so there's plenty of room here. Anyway.
Umpire's got something to say. I don't know what that was about.
No idea what's going on here. There's another one.
Throw in, short again. Griffin's worked it out. Baskerville, Bennett, that's out of bounds. Not called. In the end, it works well. 7
points to margin. Brisbane with another one midway through the 3rd quarter. Don't go early with the crow.
Go Silver Sovereign on the outside.
Eagles fans are watching, of course. So Richmond up by 7 points. Stay with us, though. We've got the close one.
Rotham, long kick inside 50. No one getting a hand on that one. Cameron on the 2nd attempt. Geez, they've almost stopped before the whistle there. That was a little odd.
Richmond by 7 points, 8-6 to 7-5. Lockie Neal with 31 disposals.
Good tackle there from Gray, but it lingered. It'll be a free kick to Bennett.
There's a lot of whistle blowing going on here at the moment.
Missed all of last year to Thomas Bennett. Played every game in 2019 for the Sharks.
Brady Gray 1 disposal. Jared Cameron just the 2.
Kick to the wing, Vardy read it best. Holmes no match in the air on that occasion. He's in a hurry at this point, sends to the pocket. Brooksby front position. Gray, good follow-up tackle. What a pickup that was from Keegan Brooksby. Good hands below the knees. Let's hear from Dana Hooker, boundary side.
Oh, Thumper, I was just having a chat behind the scenes about the boundary throw-ins, and I sort of made a tongue-in-cheek comment that I think the umpires need the box I was standing on for a game with Goss. They're not the tallest fellas out there.
Griffin, as if on cue, reads it best. Holmes drops a sitter. Flint, will he launch from outside 50? He does. It's going to miss a second set of goals probably. Jump heading back for the intercept.
They're under siege, this East Fremantle backline, and this man Jupp is doing his absolute darndest to keep it all together. He's certainly been their standout player today. Matty Jupp.
He pumps it long. A couple of West Coast defenders going the spoil. Well kept in there from Lester Smith. Gives his forwards a chance, but Petrie reading it so well, as a forward usually does. Schofield wants to duck back inside. Dangerous. Petrie says, let's retreat. And Rotham happy to keep possession to Matty Allen. His kicking board to Flint. I'd love you to give me a possession reading of Chaz Flint, Tim. Been impressed.
Yeah, been impressed. He hasn't used the ball all that well.
As if on cue. Didn't quite get to O'Neill on the full. Petrie at his slippery best. Francis Watson, the safety release on the outside. That'll give to Fisher.
9 disposals, Chaz Flint. But I think the efficiency by foot is probably below 50.
Sends a high ball, just piercing the 50. Williams flies. Creasy. It's the handball to Murphy. Great defensive work there. Oh, he's holding the ball, as a matter of fact. Rebillard, relentless tackling.
He's another one of the top-up players. Done a very good job when called on.
He's just going to send it long. Give the tall boys a chance. Ball at ground level. McInnes asked to do the roving roll on this occasion. I think he'll be happy with the boundary line.
Richmond by 7 points, 16 gone MCG.
They haven't kicked a goal in this third quarter, halfway through at the Tigers. 3, I believe, to the Lions, but who's counting?
Finish games off well to Brisbane.
Williams gets the hit out from behind, but it's a Fletcher clearing kick. Schofield, bit of a delayed spoil, does well. His kick is chopped off nicely by Fletcher. Lester Smith has it. Oh, here we go. If this ball sits, East Fremantle have a loose out the back. In the end, Holmes have to do the soccer. Petrie does well in the end. That is a big win for West Coast. We had Monahan streaming back to the goal square with not one opponent anywhere near him. And good pressure there from Eagles, preventing that inside 50 being a clean entry.
East Fremantle ringing the changes. They're trying to get 3 players onto the ground on this stage. You could have heard them through the effects mic. Desperate to make some changes.
Bokhorst, he's tackled well by Mutimer. Fisher fighting hard. He locks it up.
So a rare forward inside 50 here for East Fremantle. All about their setup. Petrie's the last man in the line there for West Coast. But again, they're out here, West Coast.
Ball to the wing. Winton drops what he should have taken. This is trouble for East Fremantle. Not a play in between here and the goals. Archie could take 3 bounces, stroll in, and West Coast are going to kick their 3rd of the quarter, as easy as you like.
Good footy. It was going to happen. He's got 2 Archie. He's had a very good quarter. Brooksby's had a good quarter. Williams has got hands on the footy. Their organisation looks a whole lot better this time around. And East Fremantle, as I said, I felt like East Fremantle had basically rolled the dice on having virtually everyone forward and a quick kick out. I think O'Neill was the kick up. 2 defenders going to ground there for the Sharks.
Yeah, just look at West Coast pounce.
Yeah, that was good, and that was well done by Archie. Ran it in. Lester Smith did his best to close him down on the far side, on the outside of that picture, but you can't make up that type of meterage unless you're Carl Lewis. But that was a very good goal, and West Coast are starting to break this game open out to 20 points. And if East Fremantle don't hang on, and don't hang on in the middle of the ground, this is where I think that a lot of the damage is being done here now from the clearances. And as Dana said, Fisher's been afforded an opportunity in the middle of the ground. Then East Fremantle are going to, this gap's going to get very big very quickly before half-time comes.
A goal to the Tigers, 13 points the lead.
Mate, every time you've mentioned the score, they've kicked a goal. So how about you back the truck up? Eh?
I agree with you, 100%. That's it for me.
Okay, you're done.
Jansen to Bennett. Swift little handball. Very dirty ball to their forwards, East Fremantle. Schofield very composed in the back half, as you'd expect. Allen feeds the run of Cole. His ball going to land at the feet of Davies, and in the end, happy to escort it over.
Yeah, Schofield hasn't done much wrong, has he? You know, whether he's it's almost been one-touch stuff. He's stood up in tackles. He's given first options. He's been very impressive, and he's organising down back.
Just his 4th Waffle game in season 2019. He's experienced enough to know that this game means a lot.
Big shorts too. Big.
A very odd comment. Vardy gives to Mutimer. Not a ton of room to work in. His kick is smothered, and Gray, good clinging tackle over the boundary line.
A lot of people listen to our coverage last Friday night when we had the question asked at the dinner table at home about who washes the shorts and the jumpers and where that...
The pressing issues, yeah.
And you told them that there was a laundry situation here at the club.
Yes, there is.
So people don't know that, mate.
Is that right? You do take stuff for granted a little bit like that, don't you?
Yeah, you do. If you work inside a footy club, you do.
Well, what do you think? Like Fraser McInnes has gone to the local laundromat with 22 player jerseys.
Players do it, but you'd think someone would come and pick it up. But you're telling me it's done on site.
I would think that would have to be the case around every AFL team.
Probably is, Stephen, but it's one of those things. It's a simple question for the simple viewer. We're not all connected to the club, mate.
Not all still, not hanging on to it still, are we, Goss, by any chance? Brooksby strong in the tackle. Muniva's kick is smothered. Davidson has to handle it well. Doesn't. Heberton there in support. He's again looking for Davidson. His tap is blind. Gray takes it. Little scrubber kick, Chaz Flynn. Claimed by Winton, and East Fremantle get a clearing kick out. Murphy, Schofield lined him up from about 20 yards away. And a brilliant work there from the veteran. That's just terrific defending there. Do you think he's coming straight back in, Tim?
I think he does come into the 22, yes, at the top level. I do. I think he makes them a better back line.
And it will be interesting if West Coast win today, whether he play in that first final with the AFL week
well,
off.
Yes, exactly right. And we've also got that game going on at the MCG, which is a 13-point lead to the Tigers, closing in at three-quarter time.
Petrie, another tap almost through the leg. Schofield, oh, that was smooth. Works around his opponent. Allen, short little dart pass to Brayshaw. He wants corridor. My man, Chaz Flynn has it. Open 50, kick is good. Goes through the hands of Williams, and Heberton will clear through Davies.
Pressure.
Gee, that kick's expected a lot of Holmes, and Watson, you saw his leg speed chopping that one off. As Rebillard, too far out to score. East Fremantle need to structure up well here. Gray offers short, ignored.
West Coast got an extra tall in the goal square here.
Pumps it long. Williams, almost a clean fly, but it's going to be Nathan Vardy with those sticky mitts.
They had three options. They had three players to kick to, and he just took that option, had size over, and he was the short of the two options. Short in position. He was in front. Fraser McInnes was around there, and Big Williams was the fly. That's a very, very strong mark. Big hands.
The 28-year-old measuring over 200 centimetres and 100 kegs. That's a big man.
An injury, of course, which saw him out of the lineup, the AFL. Hasn't been able to win his spot back.
Nathan Vardy for his second. He's hooked it, the big fella. No good. The first blemish on the scorecard for West Coast in this quarter.
Still in front and in control of the game as we go into time on. East Fremantle have got to get this ball out. They've got some clean possession here, but West Coast are working extremely hard this time. They've really upped the ante in regards to pressuring East Fremantle on their ball movement.
Sharks taking the game on. Out through a chain of handballs and going corridor. It's worked on this occasion. Bokhorst as a loose man. Teakle wants to feed the ex-blue. Tough bounce. Foley just had a quick look up there. Fletcher on his hands and knees. Muir to make sure he's not going anywhere. And the Sharks have done well to gain that field position. It's going to be Stokes v Brooksby. Good win there from West Coast. Chaos ball inside the forward line. Williams keeps his feet again. East Fremantle defender going to ground. Fisher has to think his way through it. Long ball just too far for Williams. A good back tread there from Creasy.
Well done to the East Fremantle defence. They got back. They were under siege there. They actually worked it out well, Fisher and Williams. Fisher knew that Williams was going to be the target, but was under pressure with the left. Didn't quite connect. That allowed East Fremantle to retrieve the footy.
Sharks go long. Stokes the target. Jansen keeps it in. Next kick will be interesting. It's going to work. Holmes has a paddock. Has a couple to work with. Bokhorst on the inside. His kick is an absolute shake, but it's worked perfectly. Early has Murphy all on his own inside 50. Can stroll in and slam it into the back of the fence.
Gee, tell you what, it was a spiral and a half by Bokhorst. He absolutely pinpointed that low spiral. The replay will certainly show it. A Diploma Plumbing Goal of the Day contender, no doubt about that.
Did he mean that, Tim?
I reckon he did. He was going to, well, his intention was to get it long and hard. Here it is here. This is bang. Yeah, you can't really see that, but one thing to it hit his teammate Erdley on the proverbial. And well done to Maxi Murphy, boy from Railways. So it's a good response. And again, this is what Gavin Bell spoke to Dana about. It was the transition football that they got out the back a couple of times. Good footy by East Fremantle, and Bill Monahan will be very happy with that fight back to get the margin back to 15 points.
Max Murphy cashing in there, part of the State 18s for WA, first year removed from the Colt system. 2-3 in favour of West Coast for this quarter. Still just a couple of goal deficit over at the MCG also. Closing in on three-quarter time. That bounce is an absolute shocker. We'll do it again.
Let's go to Dana Hooker on the boundary. What do you got for us, Dana?
Oh, something a little bit interesting there. I just had Keegan Brooksby trotting past me at fair pace with the trainer, and they've jumped the fence and then run into the building. So I don't think he'll be back this quarter. I'm not sure where he's gone.
Mate, the Snakes are that good at half-time. I reckon he might be getting a jump on it, Goss. Oh, what an absolute spiral of a ball. Heading back with the flight is Cole. He can't take it. Bachman lurking. Teakle collects cleanly. Manning gives to... I think it's Bennett, his high ball. Oh, back with the fly. Gutsy stuff from Eardley. Just couldn't complete it. Lester Smith providing a good quality tackle. The Sharks blowing a couple of opportunities on that occasion.
Dana Hooker coming through with that. You think it might just be the toilet, Dana?
I thought it might have been a real desperate toilet break, but got the trainer going with him. Not so sure about that one.
Yeah, I had a bag of dried apricots last night. I can feel his pain right now.
The day I need a trainer helping me in the toilet, I'm not in great nick, I don't think, Goss.
He got out of pass, mate.
Fletcher attempted to spin out of trouble and holding the ball, absolutely the correct decision.
Keegan wouldn't have had the pass to get into the building probably, if he needed a bit of assistance.
Watson, long ball, Vardy and McInnes the targets. In the end, Nathan follows up well, 2v1. O'Neill has some work to do. Davidson needs to be composed. Winton, good tackle there for the Sharks. Crowd want ball, wouldn't have thought so.
Steadied up here, East Fremantle, 25. It's not, again, not going to be a massively long quarter, maybe a couple of minutes left at best. They seem to have steadied here. The West Coast Eagles certainly looked like they were going to shape to put this game beyond doubt by half-time, but they've steadied nicely here, the Sharks.
Vardy look for a tap in board. Chaz Flint, dangerous ball if it's going to be a turnover. As far as West Coast are concerned, they'll have the corridor. Davidson goes off the deck and have a look, almost opens up. Edwards brushes the tackler aside. Does well, the first-year Eagle. Ball sits for Gray. Geez, he ducks past a couple. That's good experience from the ex-Docker. Goes through the hands of Mutimer. Brayshaw has the runner on the outside, feeds him. Archie does it up for his third. Handball to McInnes, going to do his best work from the preferred left side, but the kick is off target.
That was poor. That was a poor entry.
Would you like to see Archie have a ping from there?
Yes, I would have, but I did think Fraser was in the wrong spot as well. Thomas Bennett, the leading stat getter, or equal leading stat getter on the ground, 25 for East Fremantle, had 14 disposals, 5 and 9, and Archie also with 14, Matty Allen 13, and Chaz Flint's had 12. Hamish Brayshaw also has had 12 to half-time. Just shy of half-time, should I say.
East Fremantle certainly don't want to cough it up this late in the piece. Umpires call play on. That's stiff. Short ball. Boakhorst. Picked 19 back in the 2014 draft, like Boakhorst.
Richmond by 19 points, closing in on three-quarter time. A couple of goals.
Super flattening, Goss. Maybe you should stop mentioning the score. Oh, did I mention it before? Is that me again?
Kane Lambert's goal.
Trouble for West Coast.
When you haven't spoken about it, West Coast have had positive news coming out of the MCG.
I'm shutting the app now. Last time I promised. Griffin uncontested in the end. Bennett. A high ball.
Lachie Neale's had 39 disposals. It's not even three-quarter time.
Jansen reads it best for the Shark.
His team trails by 3 goals. Stats do lie.
Sting's gone out of the game a little bit here in the dying stages of the second term.
It's more of an arm wrestle now, so I think it's a positive for East Fremantle. West Coast had various stages, but I just reckon there's been a bit of a lockdown here by Bill Monahan. I've much preferred their style. But again, West Coast can get beaten every now and then in transition on a turnover.
Davidson goes long. Great front position there from Foley.
Yep.
Oh, has he called 50? Yeah. That is costly. And that's the second one against Jansen in this first half.
Yeah, no doubt it was 50, and he pointed straight away. So here's the replay. So this is a good mark. Worked his way to the front. Jansen there, go close forward. Now look, he's really just shuffling across, thinking he's going to give that handball away to Truck Allen. It's a really tough penalty for a bloke that really wasn't impinging on the bloke with the ball, but in the end it's costly and a goal.
One of the easiest goals of his career, Luke Foley, and West Coast nabbed one in the shadows of half-time.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking for East Fremantle, as you mentioned, 250 metres now against Jansen. I mean, that replay does show it. It was a good mark to work his way to the front, Foley. That's his part of the equation. We watch it again. So worked in front. Well done. And then he doesn't even shape to give it off. But Jansen's thinking that he might, and instead of going all the way sideways, he actually went forward 2 metres.
Well, it was an odd decision from the Sharks because they went backwards to Davidson, gave up about 30 metres, and then Davidson had to go a long ball to just getting outside of the 50. Whereas if they'd have gone long initially to the wing, created a stoppage, would have had the ball too far out to be in dangerous areas. Look at the time. Unless you've got the switch on the other side of the ground, what's the point in going back 30 metres to the pocket, Goss?
Yeah, you're probably not expecting Luke Foley to come in and take a contested mark against one of your bigger players either. So the cards didn't fall that way, but they've got a chance to break it out here through Cody Manning.
Strong in the contest, Manning, as too was Watson, beelining the ball. Oh, Griffin, great intercept from the handball there. On the lead, Schofield does well. Rother mobs up with Shepherd from Petrie. The kick needs to be precise. In the end, Lester Smith goes to ground. Umpire doesn't fall for it. Strong there from Brayshaw, but he's claimed by a couple, and that's going to be holding the ball.
Yeah, I've got a feeling West Coast were pretty lucky before that. I reckon there could have been a high tackle on Lester Smith earlier. Siren's going to sound, so he's not going to be able to do anything with the angle here. Kicking from right on 50 metres, going to need every bit of it. Here it is here. There's the Brayshaw through, and just lost control of the footy. So, well done. And there is Lester Smith wearing that number 18, of course. Worn by Neil Lester Smith for so many years for East Fremantle.
Got the call up this week, only the 8 games in season 2019, 3 in the league side. A chance to give the Sharks some true momentum heading into half-time. West Coast have dominated the latter part of this quarter. This would be big. He's going to strike it from outside 50. Oh, and the crowd likes it. What a fantastic goal.
Absolute beauty. And here's a goal, Sneak. And that is a wonderful goal. And East Fremantle, that just gives them that little bit of momentum. Thanks to Diploma Plumbing getting the job done. That is a much-needed goal on the halftime siren. And it was long, it was flat, it was accurate. And again, shepherded by or aided by the fact is that the West Coast Eagles office building and training venue is keeping any of that wind away. Not that there's a massive amount of wind, so that is a pretty good result right there. Now, three-quarter time at the MCG, Richmond by 19 points, so they've steadied the Tigers. But here, it is a 16-point lead to the West Coast Eagles, 13 scoring shots to 7, 6-7, 43 to 4-3. 27. We're here for Hungry Jacks and, of course, Diploma Plumbing. Dana Hooker is downstairs with one of the workhorses, one of the engine room for the West Coast Eagles, Brady Gray.
Brady, tell us, the game's pretty tight, but that was a better second quarter. What's been working well?
Yeah, we knew they were going to come out hot, so we just have to keep matching them in the contest. We probably wasted the ball a little bit in the first quarter, tightened up a little bit there, and we're starting to kick some goals. So we're going to have to play really well the second half to hold them off.
Has the field amongst the group been really good, seeing as a win today will set you into the finals? Has that been a thought within the playing group?
We come out to win every week, and it's the same this week, and we know East Freo, it's their last game of the season, and they're here to compete, which they've shown in the first half. So it's the same as any other week. We're to come out and hit our KPIs, and we should come away with a win.
With the fine conditions, you'll be looking to switch the ball and move it quite quickly. Has that been a focus for this game?
Yeah, they're playing a really quick game, so we've probably got to take a bit more control with the footy and make them defend. So on the other way, they can't quite attack us quick. So we're just going to have a look at some vision at half-time and go from there.
Well, thanks, Brady. Head into the shed, and we'll see you post-game.
No worries, thank you. Cheers.
Brady Gray down there with Dana Hooker. Will Schofield walks off, of course, and Josh Smith, who's the player alongside him, been troubled by hamstring for the back half of the season. Been good, Scoey. Archie's had 14 disposals, Allen 14, Chaz Flint 13, Brayshaw 12, Brooksby's had 10 and I think 4 marks as well. And let's take a look at the Hungry Jacks highlights for that first half.
West Coast on top early was Nathan Vardy converting from a missed shot on goal from Nick Reed. Good check side finish there for the big ruckman. 3 goals last time he was on this ground. Really providing the Sharks with a bit of a headache up forward, the big tall timber of West Coast. And Nick Reed, good mark there, but he didn't take too much further part in the game after this contest and tackle here, head hitting the turf, and you would think concussion, the definitive result there for Nick Reed.
He's out for the game.
Schofield, Nathan Vardy, Big good early. East Fremantle in that second quarter, Tim, 3 goals straight. It was 9 scoring shots to 3, but when they're 3 majors, they made the most of their opportunities. Hamish Brayshaw doing some of his best work from outside 50 there.
He's had 5 tackles to go with his 12 disposals.
Holmes cashing in from some good defensive pressure provided for the Sharks inside their forward 50. And here Archie with a beautiful snap round the body. He's got 2 goals in the opening half. Been prolific for the West Coast Eagles all season. And a bit of ruckman to ruckman. Don't mind that. Williams to Keegan Brooksby. I think they've got a good hold of this game, Goss, but anything can happen if they get a little complacent.
No doubt about that. I think Archie was being too kind. So this is the stroll-in goal that he got when East Fremantle turned it over at the wrong time. And there was another chance, I think, that Archie was playing too much of the team game. And this was, again, another one out the back. So this is the goal that sort of got East Fremantle, broke the momentum. West Coast were out by 22 points at one stage. After that goal here on a 50-metre penalty. And then Lester Smith kicked the last goal of the game from a set shot on 50. A beautiful kick, wasn't it? Never going to miss. And he's a very talented player, is Ryan Lester Smith. Just shy of 100 games thanks to Hungry Jacks. So the West Coast Eagles are 6-7-43, East Fremantle 4-3-27. A win for the West Coast Eagles. We're at Mineral Resources Park and the West Coast Eagles will be into the finals at this level. So Archie with a couple and leading the stats as well. And Matty Jupp, fantastic down back. Tommy Bennett also had plenty of the football. Play about to get underway. In fact, just got underway at the MCG. We'll keep you posted. It's a 19-point lead to Richmond. So bottom line is if Richmond win, West Coast will finish 5th and be at home in the first week of the finals to Essendon. If the Brisbane Lions could pull off an upset and break down that 3-goal margin in the last quarter, they will make sure that West Coast finish in the top 4 and get a double chance as well. We'll take a break. We're at Mineral Resources Park. Great afternoon for footy. We hope you're enjoying the action. Thanks to Hungry Jacks and, of course, Diploma Plumbing. It's the West Coast Eagles at the long change, at the long break, by 16 points.
Is there anything better than Hungry Jack's thick cut chips?
Yeah, Hungry Jack's large chips for just $2.
Or a cheesy cheeseburger for $2 and a nuggets and chips carry cup only $3. Penny pinches everyday value at Hungry Jack's.
Saying, kick it my way, I want to jump over the pack, and here he comes!
From the pocket, he likes to work the angles. Does Deno Sheen?
Got it to Ryan. Ryan, it's party night for him. What about Dom Sheen? What about Dom Sheen? He's nailed it.
Yeah, look, I would have never thought that I'd get to 100 games, so very grateful to be able to run out for the 100th time, but just looking forward to getting out and trying to lock in top 4 spot this weekend.
Sheen, time, poise, class. They lead by 2 kicks.
Yeah, back when I first got drafted, 2013, you know, it was a club I barracked for and always hoped to play for the club one day, and you know, it was a dream come true when I did get drafted, and then ever since then it's been a grind to get to 100 games. Hopefully got a few more left in me, but I've enjoyed the journey so far.
What a great name for a footy club in Western Australia. High Bianco for his first goal in footy. He comes in, he lines it up, he splits the middle, and Dom Sheed gets his name in the scorebook.
Yeah, I think probably 2019's been my most consistent. You know, it's my 6th year in the system now, so it hasn't all been smooth, but I'm just happy to be in the team and playing my role this season better than ever.
To Sheed from just outside 50. No one in the goal square. That is an exceptional finish from Dom Sheed.
Yeah, it's cool to be able to run out round 23 with top 4 spot on the line in my 100th game. So I think Gov played his 100th round 23 last year as well. So it's pretty cool to have a bit of meaning behind the game as well, obviously. The weeks start ramping up a bit and there's a bit more of a buzz around Perth. So heading into September and top 4 spot on the line, it's exciting. Me personally, I get pretty nervous most weeks, so nothing really changes.
Sheed from the boundary needs to be inch perfect. He is. He's got the most impossible goal. Unbelievable, the most acute angle in footy. And Sheed has kicked a remarkable grand final goal.
What? They do wraps?
Yeah, Hungry Jack's new chicken wraps with bacon and avocado. Choose succulent tender crisp or flame grilled chicken breast. Try our 100% Aussie chicken breast wraps. Hungry Jack's, now delivering with Menulog.
Is there anything better than Hungry Jack's thick cut chips?
Yeah, Hungry Jack's large chips for just $2.
Or a cheesy cheeseburger for $2 and a nuggets and chips carry cup only $3. Penny pinchers everyday value at Hungry Jack's.
Aussie has become one of your favourite Eagles, and today is a very special day. Her 150th flight. Can you believe it? Aussie first began flying at West Coast in 2007. In fact, round 2, April 7, 2007 at Subiaco Oval. Please put your hands together for Aussie, and releasing Aussie today is West Coast Eagles member John Lawrence. Welcome, John. Let her go, mate. Let her go. There's Johnny as he opens up the gates. Game 150 for Aussie. There you go, game 150. Please put your hands together for Aussie. Everybody. Thank you, Aussie.
What? They do wraps?
Yeah, Hungry Jack's new chicken wraps with bacon and avocado. Choose succulent tender crisp or flame grilled chicken breast. Try our 100% Aussie chicken breast wraps. Hungry Jack's, now delivering with menu log.
Welcome back to Mineral Resources Park. Thanks to Hungry Jacks and, of course, Diploma Plumbing. The West Coast Eagles and East Fremantle Sharks are back on the ground. And the news is not good for West Coast Eagles fans in regards to the AFL situation. They now have got some work to do because they are going to finish 5th. Richmond are 31 points in front of Brisbane at the MCG. So it has certainly been a dominant back half of the third and last quarter for Richmond against the Brisbane Lions. Brisbane haven't scored in the last quarter. Some news just through also. The AFL has today announced that at the MCG, the all-time single-season attendance record was surpassed. 6,894,771 fans have attended a home and away season, so they're still working the crowd out at the MCG. The previous best, of course, was 6,894,770. So for the third straight year running, it's been a record attendance for the AFL. 4-3-27 the Sharks, 6-7-43, 16 points the margin in favour of the West Coast Eagles here. And the sun is sort of hiding its way behind the clouds at the moment as a couple of the boys prepare their way back into the second half. Nathan Vardy, Bay Williams, who has extended his tenure here in the West. He's a fine young player, Bailey Williams. He's got a bright future for mine.
Well and truly a top quality draft selection from the West Coast Eagles. They picked number 35 last year, averaging over 11 disposals from his last month of footy. And that's pretty big for a first-year ruckman, not only doing his work in the air and in the clearance work, but also getting his hands on it also. Has a goal assist to his name this afternoon too, Tim.
Yeah, it was a nice one too to see Brooksby out the back with a double look. Now, a lot of people are on our Facebook. Thank you very much, and we're appreciating all your messages. A lot of people have got a lot of questions and thoughts going through. Don't be afraid to drop us a note on the Facebook and let us know where you're actually watching the game from. We have lots of people overseas, of course.
You haven't given them a lot of love today, Tim. Been a bit distracted, I guess. The Tigers game is a big one.
Yeah, it is, but I'm now going to focus on where our fan base is watching the game. Try and keep it G-rated. Some of your comments that'd be greatly appreciated, as well as we get the last word here from Big Fraser McInnes, the big skip.
He'll be telling them exactly what's on the line here for his teammates. A home final at Mineral Resources Park. It looked highly unlikely at certain points of this 2019 season, but they've got themselves into a fantastic position.
I know Adrian Barrett should be watching this feed very closely.
He'll be very nervous at the moment.
Yeah.
A couple of goals down. Perth Demons trying to break a 21-year drought of finals appearances.
Tracy Leonoka Elwood is a WA girl living in New Zealand, loving the live stream. and some old game replays which you would have seen at half time. Good on you, Tracy. Thank you very much for watching. Craig Gwinnett wants to know whether he thinks Hamish Brayshaw is getting close to a call-up in the big time. Probably not this stage, Craig, from my personal opinion, but he's certainly tracking in the right direction. As Steve Bandy, our commentator, said, he's out of contract at the end, but I've just got a feeling he's doing enough to warrant. And there's a young man who, well, he was considering himself a tad unlucky not to have got a game last night. Josh Rotham, who did a pretty good job 2 weeks ago, but lost his spot for last night's game, but he's done a good job here this afternoon.
Of his 3 AFL games in season 2019, 2 of them at the MCG against Richmond and Collingwood. If that isn't fast-tracking your development, playing on the big stage, I don't know what is. Alrighty,
the music dies down. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's, thanks to Hungry Jack's, and also Diploma Plumbing. All for your plumbing needs, go to diplomaplumbing.com.au. So, East Fremantle, can they upset the apple cart and make it a real bad weekend for the West Coast Eagles? They trail by 16 points to the Sharks. All the West Coast Eagles have to do is win today, and they are in waffle finals. East Fremantle playing for somewhat pride, but redevelopment, their playing list, their coaching staff, some off-field staff. I know Skinny Dodd's doing a wonderful job as the head of football at East Fremantle. So we're in position. Umpire holds the ball aloft, and we are underway for the third quarter at Mineral Resources Park. Your caller, Steve Bandy, on the boundary line is Dana Hooker.
Yes, we're back again. I actually noticed something as the boys were setting up. Late through that sort of first half, Drew Petrie was actually pushing up a little bit higher up the ground, as well as Will Schofield having Harry Edwards staying deep. But now they've sent the big dish all the way full back, and he's starting deeper, which is true to the position he's been playing most of this season.
He's lining up against Ryan Lester-Smith at this point. They're almost 1 out in the forward 50 for the Sharks. Ball inside the centre square at present. Murphy, handball to Bennett, who shirks the tackle nicely. This is Davidson, round the body. Holmes can't handle the ground ball. Schofield look composed all afternoon thus far. Oops. Rotham, a little bit fumbly, goes to ground. He wasn't on the same page with Cole with the tap. This is Monahan, snap round the body. East Fremantle almost jumping the West Coast Eagles with the opener of the quarter, but he misses.
Yeah, we pumped up Joshy Rotham, but he got caught on the back foot. The Muppet, Andrew Henry on. Wants East Fremantle to do the Waffle a favour and get over the line here today. West Perth. Final sounds more mouth-watering. You're on your own there, Mupp. Anytime West Perth are in the finals, mate, doesn't mouth-water me one bit in the slightest.
Allen.
Got a soft spot for the Demons, though.
Forster, Hoykett long. Nice. Vardy does well. Wants Mutimer to create a bit of space. He does eventually. Archie, look at him burst through the middle. Eagles have the extra number if they can work this one out. Fisher needs to go over the top. Archie's got a loose man at the top of the square. It's Brooksby. The ball eventually gets to him, unselfishly giving to the captain, as you always should. And West Coast, first blood here in the second half.
Yeah, good footy. Took the punt through the middle of the ground, and nice work by the West Coast Eagles. It's really solid, hard running there by the West Coast Eagles. Vardy held on to the footy, opened it up. Mutimer's kick was kicked under pressure. Here it is here in replay. Just held the ball long enough in front of him. Archie is really providing some wonderful run for the West Coast Eagles. He's having a field day. Good vision by Fisher. Good follow-up, Archie. And, yep, there it is there. That's a coast-to-coast goal and an easy one for the West Coast Eagles.
Archie was a great fill-in when JK missed through illness earlier in the year. He's played 36 AFL games, 9 for the West Coast Eagles, but he came in, played a role.
Yeah.
Hasn't been playing predominantly high half forward here at the Waffle, but he was able to adapt his game. I think he'd be a big chance to play some AFL finals footy, in my opinion.
Just got to keep pushing up, because the door sometimes opens when you least expect it.
Williams.
Ben Roberts is watching.
Good smother there from Archie, preventing the East Fremantle clearance.
Subiaco's finest.
Ben Roberts.
Yeah, he's watching. It's a good day off.
Some of the worst hamstrings the Waffle's ever seen. I have it on good report. Fletcher taken to ground. Good kick there from Lester-Smith, but a quality grab there from Bachman in front of Schofield.
It's the first time I think Sco's been beaten in that situation, albeit it would have to have been good to punch it.
He's got a long left foot kick. Is this a fair hoist going to the top of the square? But a good fist through. Big Drew Petrie on that occasion.
Big dish.
Jared Cameron, would love to see him get more involved in the second half. Just the 2 disposals and 3 tackles. Well below his standard, as we have seen this year. Allen can't take it inside the field of play. It's going to be Boakhorst sending it back inside 50, you would think.
Is a nice long kick, Boakhorst. We've seen an amazing soaring spiral before we set up a goal. He'll go to the drop punt here. He'd be wanting to push it at the left goalpost and hope the breeze just pushes it across.
Had it 26 times the last time these two sides met back in round 11. He's given this a fantastic hoist from outside 50, just a couple of feet short, had the line the entire way.
Let's go down to Dana Hooker's on the boundary line. Dana, the sun's gone. It's starting to get a little tad chilly.
Oh, it is a little bit chilly on the line, but I have just noticed something very interesting. And Andrew Fisher, who we spoke about before, going into the mid, he's now playing forward. So this season we've only seen him play back, but today he's gone mid and now forward. So something very different for West Coast. They're trying him out in a few different positions.
That's called versatile. Nice work, nice work.
Baskerville's kick round the body. Finds Schofield all by himself. The Eagles want to switch play, but there's not a heap to go to. They want to come back broadcast side. Petrie feigns Monahan nicely. We'll give to Rotham. Allen presents.
Whoops.
Rotham finds him. Matty Allen, joint best and fairest winner for the Royals last year in 2018. The South Australian goes long. Williams flies from behind. Gets a hand to it. Archie, probably been best on for the West Coast Eagles. Seems like he's got an eternity with the football. What a gift to the corridor. Has opened things up. McInnes, he's got some time. Rebillard providing some run. Gives to O'Neill. Goes back to McInnes. Doesn't want to launch, and what a precise delivery that is. Finding Brayshaw in the pocket. They didn't panic their West Coast. They waited for the best option. This will take one of his finest efforts on.
This comes from someone willing to break the lines, and that's what Archie does. He's taking the game on. His second efforts are good. He is absolutely dominating this game, Brendan Archie.
Good decision there, O'Neill, to give back to the skipper. He worked it nicely, but for a right footer, this is going to take one of his best efforts. Hamish Brayshaw had a ripping goal in the first half. Long from outside 50, can't bend the banana back. Quality mark there from the crowd.
Had the bloke behind the goal. It was a fantastic mark. Absolutely.
He's from Oudle, want to move it out quickly. Lester Smith, a couple of bounces on the outer side. He's burning off big Keegan Brooksby.
Oops, look out.
Draws Murphy nicely. Here's a chance for Reece Fremantle. They go deep inside 50. Cole's got front position. Monahan provides a contest. Edwards very happy to go to ground. Umpire circling, don't like it. Jeez, he waited a while.
Oh, did he ever? I think Bill Monahan's getting a tad frustrated, I reckon.
Bit of a smile there from Edwards, though.
Oh, yeah, he knew that he was just sitting on that football. 20 points to margin.
Williams, front position, through Archie's legs. Good tackle there from Jansen. Jeez, has his head hit the turf there? Yeah, I think the umpire's deemed a dangerous tackle, has he?
Yeah, well, he's spot on. Here it is here in replay there. That's a really hardcore tackle. It was the double motion too.
Harry Edwards, he's up and doing, which is a great sign for the West Coast Eagles.
Just not feeling great, yeah. I think Drew Petrie's saying, mate, I just don't know if he's 100% right here.
Oh, it doesn't look great. And look, Schofield's saying, come over, come over. I think Will Schofield and Drew Petrie are well understanding of what's happening. Harry Edwards doesn't want to hear it, but this could be the second KO for the West Coast Eagles this afternoon.
Yeah, Harry's not quite with us. That's not a good sign. He's asking the questions. I'm okay, but I think the trainer's going to win out. Well done. Look at that experience from Schofield and Petrie. Basically, they controlled the narrative there with the umpire. Said, no, stop. This kid's not well. And he is really struggling on his feet coming off Harry Edwards. So that's two. Nick Reed's gone. I think we've seen the last of Harry Edwards. So hang out of a few troops here, the West Coast Eagles.
Bit of a shame. Fourth game back from a foot stress fracture. He's shown plenty in his first year. Re-signed with the club, along with fellow young defender in Josh Rotham. The umpire wants to play it on now, but Edwards hasn't got off the ground. So you tell me how that works, Tim.
Yeah, well, he's got out of sort of the danger zone, so to speak. Yeah, Harry's got the crossover walk going too. Just quite. I know Dana's keeping a very close eye on him. He's dead set walking across his feet.
I don't see why you wouldn't stop play for the extra, 45 seconds, lose off the ground?
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Well, they could actually, to be honest, they could walk him straight to the boundary line, because you'd be very surprised when he'd be coming back on full time now. There's some inside 50s, 35-21 for the West Coast Eagles. So 35 inside 50s for 7 goals, 8. And a great return.
Watson bangs it down the line. Vardy been strong in the air this afternoon. O'Neill's handball, bit of a deflection, and opens the door for the Sharks. Griffin had to trudge back to receive. It's still going to work for them. This is Manning. He's looking for the precise ball movement inside 50, but Petrie reading it best in front of Eardley.
So Nick Reed's already gone with concussion, and now Harry Edwards is speaking to the medical staff, the club doctor, on the boundary line, thanks to Hungry Jacks. Burger queue has been long all day. They have done a roaring trade here today.
McInnes out the back, searching for Fisher. Bachman wraps him up. Ball spills out. Heberton, his handball's intercepted. Rebillard being a nuisance, but in the end, Fletcher receives. Looking for Stokes, the target. Petrie, quality pickup. Schofield. This is Cole. Flint, short pass looking for Cameron.
Isn't it a huge day so far, Jared Cameron? Starting to get busy. Wasn't a great kick.
Pulls the trigger inboard, misses the target. Here's a chance for the Sharks. Jansen wants to go long, in best position. Good spoil there from Francis Watson, bringing the ball to ground. Monahan lurking. Good pick up from Tommy Cole. Jared Cameron just needs to get it out of there. Puts it to the feet of Flint. Umpire says play on. Bump ball. This is Cole on the handball. Need a bit of composure here, West Coast. They're fluffing around with it. Good tackle there from Bokhorst. And the crowd, I think you've heard it now, affects Mike. Not happy, Jan.
Yeah, they're saying that it was incorrect disposal. It might not have been prior, but he certainly had the opportunity to get rid of the footy. Tough call on the East Fremantle Sharks, but they're going to get a chance for a shot on goal here on the quick kick.
The hack kick forward's going to the chest of Bachman. Right place, right time for the 19-year-old. In his third season for the Sharks. We've seen his booming left foot kick a little earlier in the quarter. Should have the distance covered. Makes good connection. Geez, he struck it beautifully. And East Fremantle hit back.
Yeah, they were unlucky not to get the original free kick. Well, the umpire said it was no prior, but in the end, that's a very good goal. And the margin back to 14 points. So they're at nagging distance. And I want to stress too, now West Coast Eagles, and I think we've seen the last of Harry Edwards because he did not look well coming off the ground. Dana Hooker will get an update for us shortly. We already know they've lost Nick Reed. 20 players in a game that's only been separated by a couple of goals with a quarter and a half to go and tad more. This could be a lot closer than what we would imagine right here, right now. And West Coast have to win to make the finals.
Hard to disagree with you, Goss. Not only chance for finals, but a home final here at Mineral Resources Park.
See Michael Keel's watching. Michael advertises, of course, on the bench, on the boundary line here, and wonderful support of Waffle Football at this venue. He was at the Rewa Real Estate Awards last night, doing big things.
So no call for you last night, Goss?
No, I was busy last night, unfortunately. Would have loved to have seen the AFL action. I love my action at the ground. There's a free kick. Which way is that going to? West Coast. Cameron being held.
Cameron knew immediately. Kick going against Manning.
Is that a good quarter, Cameron?
Little feed to Rotham. Just gets his kick away, but ill-directed. Gobbled up simply by Davies. He wants to play on.
East Fremantle have got their tails up here. Dead set. West Coast's got to hang on at the moment. Momentum of the game has changed significantly.
The previous goal kicker, Bachman, wants to go long down the line, but that kick's drifting. Almost landing in the inflatables in the end.
I tell you what, that was because of Flint's work on the mark. Absolutely. I know it's a very simple, basic effort, but he worked the mark and forced Bachman to kick down the line, and the Breeze did the rest. So that was well played. Work the mark, make the opposition kick high and long.
Francis Watson with his 10 disposals. Rebillard on his back, gets the handball out. Archie, look at him bullock his way forward. Good smother though from East Fremantle, preventing that clearing kick. We'll have a ball up just in front of the commentary box and stand here at Mineral Resources Park.
Yeah, I think Harry Edwards is not feeling it all well. I'm watching now, he's got his head bowed. He's very unwell with the physio's hand on his back.
Good tackle there from Matty Allen. They had an easy back feed to Manning, and Allen disrupt that. Wins a free kick for his efforts. Most numbers in front of the left footer. He drives it long. Floating across. Brooksby had his eyes on it from the get-go. Is it going to be a free kick? Because I think the umpire caught it early. McInnes wants to play on. Does the team thing, sends it to the top of the goal square, but in the end, numbers prevail for the Sharks, and Jump takes the intercept. It was 2v1 in the end, Goss, and he's kicked to at the goal square.
Yep, absolutely. So East Fremantle are certainly throwing down the gauntlet, laying down the gauntlet here. West Coast are under enormous pressure. The backline's keeping together, and then Archie's through the middle as well.
Terrific spoil from Schofield. Gray collected high. He'll come back to him. I wouldn't think that's downfield.
No, still high tackle.
The kick to Bockman was precise. Don't know how Will Schofield got the spoil on that one there, as we see in replay, but quality work from the veteran.
Tell you what, that's a genuine coat hanger too from Cody Manning. That is a genuine coat hanger.
He's seen it all, Brady Gray. Used to being in those positions, winning the hard footy. Good spoil from the Sharks. Stokes, bit of volleyball skills. It's going to pay off. Bennett dodges about 3 tacklers in the end. His kick is a sideways floater. Misses everyone. Petrie composed to Gray. Watson has to get a hurry on. Sends it long. Vardy flies. Good spoil there from the Sharks. Bennett gives to Baskerville. His kick down the line is precise. Bockman been lively this turn.
They're coming. Don't worry about that. They are genuinely coming, East Fremantle. They just got to be a bit cleaner here.
Long ball. Foley. Gee, they're sure hands. A move to defence in 2019 halfway through the season, and I like the look of him back there.
They're going to change direction here. It's wearing thin that far side of the ground. Cameron's on his own.
He's got a bit more of it this term, Jared Cameron.
Yeah, he's working. I reckon he's had more in the mid. Dana might be asking that question of the coach at three-quarter time, whether that's been a significant move, because he couldn't draw a football in the first half in the forward 50.
Watson thought about breaking the lines. In the end went sideways to Fisher. He gives to Allen. 14-point lead in favour of the West Coast Eagles. Halfway through the third term. This game's still well and truly in the balance. Petrie's handball makes Cameron wait. He does well. West Coast have Flint loose on the wing. Cameron running on the inside. He's ignored. Wants to go corridor. Kick is precise to Vardy. This is the kick. Archie, beautiful tick lead. Strong hands from Archie. Distance will test him. Wants a little dab over the top. Clever footy, and Hamish Brayshaw has it in the exact position he had earlier this quarter. Will he attempt the banana again is the question, Tim.
Well, he probably kicked it too hard, the last one. Now, I've had an interesting text from a former West Perth president to tell me that the West Coast Eagles do not get a home final.
Really? Oh, that is gutting. Been confirmed from our director, Ross Smith, so been feeding out great intel this afternoon as Hamish Brayshaw opts for the drop punt on this occasion, but sends it in an identical position. But a far less result without on the full.
Let's go to Dana Hooker. Dana, what do you got for us, boundary line?
Well, I'm sitting next to a couple of very, very passionate East Fremantle supporters, and they were giving poor Brady Gray a fair bit of stick before, and then about a minute later he was coat-hangered by their enforcer, Cody Manning.
Cody Manning, yes. So we're reliably informed that the game will be played up there at Joondalup in West Perth.
Always good to be reliably informed halfway through the third term. Foley's kick is smothered, but he's first on the scene to recover. Handball. Munimer does well to trap it. It'll give to Allen, and now Fisher with the inside 50. Dangerous area. Williams can't get a hand on it. Big ball to be won here. Look at Archie's pace. He threw that to Brady Gray, and the crowd saw every bit of it, and the umpire believed it.
Certainly did. Non-controlling umpire had a good view of it. He's standing on the 50. So he hasn't done much wrong today, Archie, but on that occasion he's been pinged.
Good tackle from Bokhorst. Wants corridor. Look at that kick. That is a laser, but it's Cook Fletcher in the end. Schofield's left his man to get there. Good shepherd from Rotham. He receives. Lowers the eyes to Brayshaw.
Still going to win this game regardless of where the finals are going to be played.
Brayshaw. Long. Williams in a great position. Jump does well to get across. In the end, McInnes right foot. Archie, could he kick his third? I think he's just got boots of ball in time.
Well,
the goal umpire looks well uncertain, Tim.
They did this last week, and I don't know what the goal umpires do here. They come out and they say, well, I think it's a goal. Well, there's no replay, so...
It's a matter of whether it was connection below the knee. I reckon they'd have to be debating.
Yeah, no, but who's he asking?
He's given the all clear.
Who's he asking? That's my point.
There's Archie's third.
Mate, they're not going to go up and do the video review because it don't happen at this level, mate. They did that last week. But anyway, the correct decision was made. The Diploma Plumbing getting a job done Here it is here, Archie aiming for his third. We look at the replay. Does it sit below his knee? It took a long time. Yeah, goal every day of the week. And there was no protest from the East Fremantle defender. So I don't quite know what happened here. The boundary umpires were hiding behind the goalpost. They couldn't have seen it anyway. Anyway, a Diploma Plumbing goal of the day contender. And Archie is having a genuine day out right here, right now. Checking his stats for Hungry Jacks and Diploma Plumbing.
He's been the difference maker today, Tim.
He has been simply outstanding, and he is pressing his claims.
Averaging 20 disposals on the year, former South Freo Colt.
So he's had 19 disposals, kicked 3 goals, 1. He's had a couple of tackles. His work rate's been sensational. Matty Allen's leading with 20. Will Schofield's had 19. Hamish Brayshaw's had 17. And for East Fremantle, Bennett 19, Jupp 14, Fletcher 13, and Cody Manning 13, and a coat hanger.
Bit of breathing room for West Coast. 20-point margin. Undoes some of the good work from the Sharks this quarter. Tassoni lurking around the back. Bokhorst liked his game today. Good sharing of the handball. Fletcher runs into a wall, but has Tassoni as a release. Goes to the top of the square. Eagles defender falls over. Opens the door for Erdley. A chance. Snap round the body. That's special stuff.
Missed. It's a point at the post.
Oh, that is a big let-off as far as West Coast is concerned. A good tackle here from Drew Petrie on his knees.
It's a good tackle.
Bit odd to see Cameron Erdley playing one out in the forward 50. He's been there the majority of the game. Not much centre bounce work.
So Lachie Neale had 51 disposals in a losing team today. 51 disposals. West Coast to host Essendon in a final. Many people believe that's 23 years too late, because remember, I think it was the Eagles who had to travel when they finished above them.
Oh, Fraser McInnes, beautiful little blind turn, but the boundary line says that is not legal.
And Richmond will be off to the Gabba. So they beat them today, and their reward, final at the Gabba. That'll teach them.
Well, they'll have confidence, is what the coaching team will be saying.
Exactly. Anywhere, anytime. I've heard that before. I'm not sure who said that, which coach said that.
Mutimer has the ball ripped out of his possession by Bennett, and it stacks on him for another ball up.
19 points to margin. We're into time on in this third quarter. So East Fremantle just got to hang tough. Still got a feeling they've got a bit left in them.
1 goal for this quarter, the Sharks. Bit wasteful.
Yep.
Bennett, quick kick forward, only as far as Watson.
He hasn't done much wrong either. His attack on the footy has been good today, Frankie.
That's his 6th grab of the afternoon. Sends it long. Vardy can't take it on the second grab. Fisher runs down Bokhorst well. Creasy has his handball intercepted. Shaz Flint says thank you very much. Roubiliard providing some run for McInnes. It'll be indecisive, the skipper. Goes long to the pocket. Oh, who else? Hamish Brayshaw. Have your third crack at it, son. Wants the pass on this occasion. Matty Allen doing well to get a hand on it in the end, and slams into the behind post for a throw-in.
It's a tough pocket to get goals from, this pocket, isn't it? It's not much, it's a strange one. Obviously, it's only a new ground and a new venue for playing for the Perth Football Club and the West Coast Eagles at various stages this year. It's a tough one, this pocket. Doesn't seem to get a lot of assistance.
Oh, hanging on. Is this a big free kick? Oh, no, it's going the way of the Sharks. For a split second, I thought Vardy was the recipient. Dana Hooker, boundary side.
I've got something for you, Goss. That pocket has been particularly tough because there is a slight breeze heading across this side of the ground towards the grandstand, so it makes it a bit trickier to kick into it.
Nice work. That's why you're the expert on the boundary line, Dana Hooker. It's the bounce of the ball inside 50. Griffin's got to be good.
Beautiful composed work there from Davies, clearing ball to outside the 50. Bachman provides a contest against Rotham, and he follows up well, does Bachman. Kick down the line. This is Teakle. Petrie harasses him out of it. Watson. He's done well to get Boots the ball, but it's cost him in the end out of the full.
Yeah, it's well done by Holmes. Good pressure on the boundary line in a tight situation. So East Fremantle can reset here. They've got to just stick at it, stay at it, not allow another goal. This last quarter is going to be intriguing. All on the line. The Perth Football Club, I'm sure, will be watching this right here, right now. This big fella tuned in late, didn't he, for the season? But he has just added something, and I reckon he's loving playing footy. I know there's a lot of clubs who are keen to get him to play waffle footy or amateur football.
Well, a bit of a stitch-up kick down the line to Bachman. I'm sure he was not looking forward to the monster that was Drew Petrie floating across the face. And East Freo squander a opportunity going forward. Rotham drives it long to the wing. Williams competes, but in front, Murphy. Outmatched with size, didn't phase. The 19-year-old, he moves it quickly to inside 50. Rotham goes the fist. Schofield tapped out of his hand. Petrie always looking composed in the back half. The snap round the body from Watson, and Vardy does well to just harass Murphy over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Now, this is all just social media stuff, okay? So don't take it to the bank and don't take it as gospel. But the reports coming out of Melbourne suggest the West Coast Eagles elimination final will be a Thursday night fixture against Essendon.
Interesting.
It's unofficial, but it's just the word doing the rounds, and don't attribute my name. I'm just messaging the gossip on social media to our Facebook and YouTube watchers.
That would be the last 3 games against the Bombers being either a Thursday night or Friday night at Optus Stadium as well, Goss.
Yes. We'll have news stories telling people how to catch trains and where to park. Normally Perth goes into lockdown on a Thursday night fixture. They don't know what to do. People coming back from work or to work or not going to work or school.
Bachman moves around Cole. Kick to the top of the 50. Spilled mark by the West Coast Eagles in Allen. Brayshaw there in support. Just gets the kick away. Now here's a chance for the Sharks if it's in. Bounces off the chest of Jump. Costly little error.
Oh, Jumpy.
He's moved well. Oh, that is a fantastic second effort.
Brilliant, Jumpy. Nice work. He's a good mover. He's all heart and soul. And if you had 22 jumps in your team, you wouldn't be losing too many games.
115 league appearances. And his ball use inside 50 there under the pump. Hits up, I believe, the first gamer for the Sharks in Bryn Teakle, the 19-year-old out of Northampton. First year out of Colton. This is the biggest kick he'll have in his career.
Plenty of boys out of Northampton.
Kick just inside the paint of the 50. It's coming back. Just the wrong side of the goalpost.
Let's go down to Dana Hooker on the boundary line. Dana, what do you got first?
Well, gosh, Cam Erdley, that had that knock in the first quarter. I've noticed every time he's come off the bench, he's been looking a little bit worse for wear, but he was just getting some interesting chiropractic treatment, it looked like, from one of the staff members. They were twisting his back and trying to give him some relief there for whatever pain he's in, but I don't think he's in a good way, and he's one of their more important ball winners.
Very much so. Very experienced player, Cam Erdley, of course. Well over 100 games in the Waffle. Had some AFL experience, and here it is here. There's the twisting. Gee, she's good, isn't he, Dana Hooker down there? She doesn't move off the seat at any stage, but she sees a lot.
If you can deliver that goal sitting down, why would you get up?
All right.
3 goals for the quarter. Shouldn't be a long one. We've ticked over 26 minutes. East Fremantle, a wasteful 1 goal 5 for the term.
Yeah, they've had chances too, haven't they? Erdley was one who hit the post and everyone thought it was a goal.
That's 5 goal 1. Some certain
in front.
Nervous watchers at this point. Bennett does well to corral the footy. Sets Bachman a task, but that is clean. Gives back to Bennett. Little back feed. This is Heberton. Looks to the pocket. What ball movement that was from the East Fremantle Sharks.
Tim Bachman's an interesting player. Looks like he should be at the beach.
Looks like Bodie from Point Break with that hairstyle.
East Fremantle product. Absolutely fantastic. This is his 9th Waffle game, and he has not taken a back step. He's beaten some of the best in the business here today. Hats off to the young man. He looks like he's got a future and a half. Tim Bachman.
This is Andrew Stokes for a massive opportunity for the Sharks. Searching for his 2nd goal of the game. It's drifting across the face. In the end, helped through by the Eagles' defence. 1 goal 6 for the term.
Get Tim Bachman into the gym. He'll be okay. He's only 72 kilo.
Oh, here we go. Tommy Cole's got Fisher, and no one within 60 metres of him when he gets this ball on the wing. Brady Gray set off, as to his Brayshaw. In the end, the siren winning out. Wouldn't have minded seeing that play develop, Goss, but not to be on this occasion.
It's 17 points West Coast way. It is not game over by any stretch. They've got to hang on to get a final. We're told it'll be against West Perth up in the Northern Corridor. 8-8, 56 to 5-9-39. Let's take a look for Hungry Jacks at some of our highlights. As Hamish Brayshaw had a couple of opportunities to kick a goal in this quarter. Hungry Jacks highlights.
As we see Murphy strolling in for one of the easiest goals of his career.
That was in the 2nd quarter, of course.
And this from a Jansen 50-metre penalty, giving Foley surely his easiest goal for the 2019 Waffle season, and a massive major from Lester Smith on the stroke of half-time, giving East Fremantle a bit of hope and momentum leading into the third term. Like Vardy's game this afternoon. And Archie, look at him go, setting up this ripper. And you'd love to see the Twin Towers in big Brooksby and McInnes waxing on this occasion. Always got to look after the skipper, Goss.
You certainly do.
And that was the captain's first goal of the afternoon. Great to see him back after a 3-goal absence. And as we see Archie just getting boot to ball the last minute. A clutch goal from the West Coast Eagles. And then East Fremantle hit back in a big way. Drew Petrie doing his best work, patrolling the back half, but there you half-time or three-quarter highlights, courtesy of Hungry Jacks and of course Diploma Plumbing. For all your plumbing needs, visit diplomaplumbing.com.au.
Let's have a message from our sponsors who bring us all the action here at Mineral Resources Park this afternoon.
Is there anything better than Hungry Jack's thick cut chips?
Yeah, Hungry Jack's large chips for just $2.
Or a cheesy cheeseburger for $2 and a nuggets and chips carry cup only $3. Penny pinchers everyday value at Hungry Jack's.
Will Schofield, 21 disposals, 7 marks. Matty Allen, 20 disposals, 7 marks, 6 tackles. Brennan Archie, 19 disposals, a couple of tackles. More importantly for him, 3 goals. Hamish Brayshaw has had 19 disposals to go with his 7 tackles. Chad Flint, one of the top-ups, has had 18. Josh Rotham, 17. Tom Cole, 16. Drew Petrie's had 15 disposals and 5 marks. Frankie Watson, 15 disposals. Nathan Vardy, 14 and a goal. Xavier O'Neill's had some patches today, 13 disposals. Keegan Brooksby's kicked a goal with his 11 disposals. Fisher 11, Foley 11 and taken 5 marks. Fraser McInnes has kicked a goal on his return, the skipper, and 11 disposals. Rebellia 10, Bailey Williams 10 and 15 hit-outs. Kurt Muderman 9, Jared Cameron had a better quarter, 8 disposals. Has been tackling strong. I think he's had about 5 tackles. Brady Gray, 6 disposals. Harry Edwards and Nick Reed both off the ground with concussion. We'll get an update from them, from Dana at three-quarter time shortly. Now, across at East Fremantle, Tommy Bennett's had 22 disposals. Matty Jump's had 15. He's taken 3 marks. He's really set up the play. Blake Brockhurst, Boakhurst, should I say, 14. Shawnee Fletcher, 14. Jared Jansen, 13. Cody Manning's 13. Morgan Davies, 12. Ryan Lester-Smith kicked a great goal on half-time. He's had 12. Baskerville's had 11. Harry Creasy, 10. Max Murphy's kicked a goal for 10. Alok Boatman, he's kicked the 1 goal. He's only had the 9 disposals, but he's had a real crack at it, and he takes them on. There's no backward step on him. Eardley's off the ground, on and off the ground with just 9 disposals to Sony, 9. Hepperton's had 8. Corey Holmes kicked a goal on Deboo's 7 disposals. Should I say not on Deboo, but back in the lineup. Davidson's had 6. John O'Griffin's had 23 hit-outs and 6 disposals. Bryn Teakle on Deboo's had 6. Stokes 5 and a ripping goal from the right forward pocket. Winton 5 and Tommy Monaghan has kicked a couple of points with his 4 disposals. Well, Jared, Will Schofield, I'll just put in that there. Will Schofield, what do you make of him, Steve? I reckon he's been outstanding today. Beaten one-on-one once, I reckon. The 21 disposals, but it's his work, his tackling, his organisation skills have been simply superb.
The last time he had 21 disposals, surely running around the 18s carnival. It's been a while since the key defender has racked up such footy, but I'm fairly certain last week's selection decision would have had either Duggan or Schofield well and truly in the frame. And you'd have to think today's performance on the back of what you know he can do on the big stage, maybe well and truly a great chance to return for the Essendon final at Optus Stadium.
Yeah, one of the very many decisions to be made by Adam Simpson and his coaching crew. So just repeating the news that West Coast will have a finished 5th in the home and away. So the double chance goes out the door, so they're going to have to do it, and I put in quotations, the tough way, but it's certainly not beyond them. First home final will be against Essendon, and some believe that it will be a Thursday night fixture. This is all to be confirmed by the AFL. So a significant first week of the finals. Richmond will have to travel to Brisbane, so that's their win. That's their punishment for winning today. But they needed it to get into the top 4, so they really had to take what they wanted.
As if a chance of playing finals wasn't enough to get the excitement up and going at three-quarter time. A bit of Tom Petty won't back down, blasting in your ears. Oh, I should get the blood boiling.
You like Tom Petty, do you, mate?
Oh, this tune's iconic, mate.
So Geelong will host Collingwood. Well, one would assume...
Is this Nostradamus?
It should be. It'll be at the G. Go to the G. They'll get 85,000 at the G. West Coast will play Essendon, and GWS are playing the Western Bulldogs. Hawthorn are out of it. Port Adelaide on the live ladder are currently winning against Fremantle, so they've jumped their local rivals Adelaide to 10th spot as it stands, and Fremantle on the loss today are 13th. Let's go downstairs. Dana Hooker, who have you got?
I've got Luke Webster with me. Luke, tell us they're within 15 points East Fremantle, but they're still sniffing around within arm's reach.
Yeah, look, they're playing some really good footy. We're getting some good looks. We probably haven't capitalised on the looks that we've had inside 50. And we fueled a little bit their ball movement by just overusing it at times in that quarter. So, you know, they have been playing some really good footy, and they've been showing that again today. So we need to be right on for this last quarter.
Most definitely, but Nick Reid and Harry Edwards both down with concussions. What does that do to your rotations?
Yeah, look, it's obviously makes it a little bit more manageable and a little bit more difficult for the boys to do that, but the boys down on the bench have been doing a terrific job so far, so hopefully they can keep managing the load for the guys across the day and we can see this game out.
Look, all the best for the fourth quarter. Let's hope we bring home that win, hey?
Yeah, it'd be really nice.
Thanks very much, Luke.
Thanks, Dana. Cheers.
Yeah, good on you, Dana. Thanks to Luke Webster. So just the overall stats, which is interesting. The kicks, 175 handballs, 107 for 282 disposals to 220. So plenty of the ball, the West Coast Eagles. Hungry Jacks, Diploma Plumbing final quarter. West Coast Eagles just must win to make the final.
Massive term on the horizon here at Mineral Resources Park. West Coast holding on to a 3-goal lead at this point, but just 2 fit men on the bench to work with. East Fremantle with the first clearance. Bennett attempts the 1-2 with Bachman, but in the end, Brayshaw provides enough pressure to win it back for the Eagles. Fisher on the outside. Goes back to Brayshaw, kicks in the man on the mark. Davidson composed, back to Bachman. Here's a chance. The Sharks go long. Monahan flies off. A volley in the end. Great running attempt from Holmes, I reckon it was.
Yeah, it was, definitely.
Geez, if that gone in, I eat my hat.
Yeah, and you, well, some sort of hat.
Have a look at it.
Yeah, I'm watching.
That would have been a Diploma Plumbing goal of the millennium.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
We saw Brad Dalziel, the East Fremantle midfield coach, just give us a wry, cheeky smile. Of course, an employee of the West Coast Eagles. Interesting day for Brad.
He's torn, is he?
Nah, definitely not. Oh, you would hate to think so in the Sharks coaching box. Great man, Brad Dalziel. Long kick to the wing. Williams competes. Bennett turns into the movement tackle.
Interesting if West Coast lose on the hands of East Fremantle and Brad went to come to work tomorrow and his swipe card didn't work. Thanks for coming.
Every chance.
There's your payout on your way. Don't be long.
Rebillard wraps up Fletcher, going nowhere. Fletcher's had a reasonable game today for the Sharks, the former Swan District product.
Yeah, I saw him pre-game. Big boy, strong boy, big build.
Tommy Cole goes long. Vardy can't get a hand to it. Heberton does well to bring it to ground. This is Lester Smith running. Long driving kick inside 50. Good spoil. It was quality from Drew Petrie. Been close to the Eagles' best this afternoon. Certainly in the top 3 in my opinion. Brayshaw does well. Rebillard, he's claimed, just gets the handball out. Fletcher on his backside. Releases to a teammate, Bokhorst. Fakes Mutimer in his direction. Kick to the top of the 50, just out over the top of Bachman.
Get out here, West Coast.
This could open the door. O'Neill. His kick is well off target. Looks to be no chance. The jump collects. Baskerville. Feign the handball, bit uncertain. Has Davies on the wing, opts for that option. Brady Gray provides a good contest. Goes to ground, opens the door for the Sharks. Long handball. Murphy, what can he do? Hot spot surely. Obliges 2v1 West Coast. Watson drifting in well, and good body hold from Petrie also.
Yeah, fantastic Petrie. He knew he had a job to do, and that was to hold out the East Fremantle forward line to allow Watson to be the third man up. Very clever work.
8th mark this afternoon. Thought Gray and O'Neill were going to collide for a minute there. They work it out.
Watson working his cramp, I reckon. Calves behind plate.
Long kick down the wing. McInnes and Williams fly. Cameron, such a prolific tackler for a small forward. He wraps up Baskerville.
There it is here. There's the replay. It's a very good mark, Frankie Watson. Been very good today. He and Cole, Schofield, Rotham done a really good job down back. And Drew Petrie certainly commanding the troops.
McInnes does well to get a fist on that. Jupp was looking to swallow it whole. Rebillard goes to ground at the wrong time. Mutimer wraps up Jansen. And Brooksby, averaging 6 tackles on the year, provides another one here in the centre square. Francis Watson seems to be moving all right. Big clearance here. Griffin wins out. Deft little handball. Fletcher can't handle it, but he swoops on it nicely. Here's a chance for the Sharks. The big fella, Jonathan Griffin, goes bang, top of the goal square in best position. Easy, uncontested mark from Stokes. Petrie trailing by a couple of yards, and that's all he needed.
Yeah, that ball kept on floating on the breeze, and Petrie was 2 metres on the wrong side here. There's the kick from Griffin. And just kept on running away from both. You can see there Petrie trailed him in. Stokes kicked a beautiful goal in the second quarter from the boundary line. The first multiple goal kicker, if he can nail it, and he has.
Makes no mistake. Slams into the Mineral Resources Park window. Seems to have survived. And he's Fremantle. Close within 10 points.
Yes.
Just a tick under 5 minutes played in the final quarter.
As Luke Webster said, didn't take the best of their chances here, West Coast, and all of a sudden it could be coming back to bite them. It's good stuff by East Fremantle. Good, strong running from the veteran John O'Griffin. And again, Stokes on the end of it for his second goal. And all of a sudden, we've had game on for a while, but this is genuine game on now. And this will be a massive upset, and this will be a massive blow for the West Coast Eagles if East Fremantle can win this game.
Well and truly, game on here. West Coast be absolutely desperate to get this ball surging forward. But big Bailey Williams up against John O'Griffin. The youngster flies high. Beautiful tap, well shark from Mutimer. Swings on the left boot. Front position, Archie. Jeez, he's done that well. Had the flight of the ball sorted.
Yeah, got rid of his man at the right time. Have a look at the step around here. That's beautiful. We saw Williams do this a couple of weeks ago against West Perth in the middle of the ground. He completely dominated the last quarter. Look at that. Archie just got to the front. Pat collapsed behind him, and Archie can go back and line up for his 4th goal. Game-changing, the difference. If he can nail this, this will be a huge steadier for the Eagles.
Brendan Archie. He's had a sensational game this afternoon. That kick is probably not going to come back enough. In fact, distance was the major concern. They rush it behind the Sharks. I don't think East Freo will want Creasy one out with Archie again inside the forward 50.
No, size matters.
They work it out through hands. Winton goes bang. Good fly from Foley, but can't take it on this occasion. Murphy to Manning. Off one step, quality spiral. Holmes has some time and space. Going to look for big John O'Griffin, but he's given his ruckman 0 chance. In fact, he was looking for Stokes on that occasion. Put it about 20 yards out, too far in front of him. Rotham has it. Defensive 50 from West Coast. Opts for the long ball to the wing. The fist from Winton. Goes behind, not ideal for the Sharks. Creasy needs some composure, dealt with by Rebillard, but the kick's on point. Bokhorst ignores the short lead of Bachman. Doesn't have a ton to go to, has to hang on to it a bit longer. Look at the pace. Burns off through the middle. Attempts a spiral yet again. But Holmes has got space. He's dropped the chest mark. Difficult one to handle. Monahan, great pressure, but what a sensational dribble goal. East Fremantle. 2 goals back to back.
And it comes again from Bokhorst, who his disposal might not be clean, but the effort, he just says, oh, I can take you on. I'm better than you. I'm quicker than you. Doesn't matter who he's confronted by. His run and carry, and there he is again. He just ran the extra couple of yards. Kick wasn't huge, but I tell you what, they did well here. Once it was on the ground, look at Monahan, barely touched.
Oh, that's a quality finish.
Yeah, that is a plumbing goal of the day contender. That is absolute quality, and it is now less than a goal, and it is momentum one way, and that one way is East Fremantle.
Bokhorst, what an absolute mung torpedo that was. Couldn't have found his teammate better. Dropped the mark, still works for them nicely with a quality finish from Monahan.
Yeah, he's had a good day. He might not be the leading stat getter, Bokhorst, but I tell you, he is certainly hurting the West Coast Eagles.
Originally from the Swan District side of the fence, now at the Sharks. Bennett, he's claimed immediately, just gets the handball out. Griffin goes whack with a big fist. But East Fremantle will not clear on this occasion.
Boakers was the bloke who had a crack at Nick Moldhouse.
Oh, he's played off the ball there, can you believe?
Boakers is the bloke that had a crack at Nick Moldhouse on Twitter and then got drafted by Mick at Carlton and had to face him one day. I'm pretty sure it's the same bloke.
Flynn, rewarded from the tackle. Goes to the hot spot, Vardy. Good spoil from jump. It appears Creasy was dealt with in the marking contest and he'll receive the free kick.
Yeah, pushed out.
Archie.
Yeah, she's feeling it.
Hard to drag his name through the mud today. Fletcher wants to move it quickly. They're taking the game on here, the Sharks. The kick didn't do Bachman any favours. Watson wearing him to Sony. Good tackle, but the kick forward lands on the chest of guess who? Brendan Archie. Bit of something from nothing there from West Coast. A chance for number 5. There we go. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, because you held up 4 fingers before when he floated that one.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah. 9 handballs, 2 tackles, 2 marks, 3 goals, 1, 22 disposals, leading stat getter for West Coast.
To say the Eagles need this one, it's a fair understatement. East Freo are coming. A chance for Archie with a bit of composure, and he delivers. West Coast steady. Lead back out to 11 points.
It's been big from him today. Big from him. Because it hasn't all been forward 50 stuff. He's provided great run off half back and through the midfield. But he's now just connected. He's he's arguably the most dangerous forward on the ground. You don't kick 4 goals and don't have that alongside your name. But diploma plumbing, it's all very simple, but the pressure was on him to kick it. Had a shot earlier in the quarter. Very simple expression. Yeah, he's happy. He knows what it means. Back out to that 11-point lead. So again, it's up to East Fremantle, but they're not out of it. The Sharks, they keep on coming. And again, ball back in the middle. It's going to be Brooksby to do the ruck work against Stokes.
2 goals to 1 in this final quarter in favour of the Sharks. A good steadier there from West Coast. High bounce. Stokes goes early. Brooksby waits. No clear-cut winner. Beautiful handball there from Cameron. Bit of a fumble from Allen though. Brady Gray, hard as nails, puts Manning under the pump. Bachman back into it. Oh, provides the tackle on O'Neill. The crowd getting vocal here at Mineral Resources Park. Not a lot of pro-West Coast here, Tim.
No. I'm glad the Sharks fans have come out in their numbers.
Oh, beautiful trap there from Allen. Even better hit out from Brooksby. Kick inside 50. Vardy gets on his bike. Does well to spoil it out of Winton's hands. The big man goes to ground. That's a good handball from Davidson. Jump. Genuine floater. Cole. Beset upon by Erdley. Ball squeezes out. McInnes. His short kick. Good composure. This is Flynn.
He's done some good things today, Chazzy Flynn. This is 19 disposals.
Not bad after a senior recall.
From University Amateurs.
Drives it long. Williams uncontested. Read it best in the air. Tough angle. Oh, in fact, it's a little bit more corridor than I thought. So this is a genuine chance for the big ruckman.
It's just size.
No East Freo ruckman in sight there.
Yeah. They were worried about Vardy flying, and he just stood his ground here. So it'll be a heartbreaker for East Fremantle. Have been very gallant today without being patronising. They've been certainly undermanned and undersized, but they've hung in there.
Bailey Williams. A chance for 2 on the trot for West Coast, and he delivers.
This could go one of 2 ways here now for East Fremantle. They can say, well, we've given it our best shot and we're done. The season's over and we'll think about what we do tonight and tomorrow. Or they could really still crack in, but they've got to get clearances. They've got to get movement out of the middle of the ground, but it's certainly starting to hurt them now. A couple of centre clearances, and West Coast seem to have more numbers inside 50 and more in dangerous positions. So a lot to do for East Fremantle. They got within a goal. At the moment, the margin's out to 17 points. It's still a good 13 or 14 minutes of game time. But as I said, it could go one of 2 ways. This could be an avalanche, but East Fremantle certainly need the next goal. Dana Hooker, boundary side.
Well, guys, I think you might have a bit of competition. I can hear your commentary in my left ear through the earpiece, and off to my right, there's a gentleman that's calling the game. I tell you, he's pretty good. And, I don't know if he's hooked up to anything. He's getting some practice in. But
I tell you, do you know who it is?
Who is it? Tell me, guys.
That's the son of the late George Griliasic. That's Rod Griliasic, who played for South Fremantle and Perth.
Right.
Yes.
And what do you think he would be doing this call for?
Just Because he does stuff like that.
Personal interest.
He's a good man, Roddy. He's different, but he's different in a good way.
Yeah, he's calling it well, though. I'll give him that.
Yeah, all right. Well, back off. Okay.
Well, if he wants to do the fourth quarter, the line of Hungry Jacks is open right up for big bands.
There's Griller. There he is.
He's riding the emotions with all of us here.
Yeah.
Ball up inside the centre square. Brooksby feeds Allen nicely. Archie, tough bounce there for Brendan Archie. He's back on it though. Oh, he attempted a little feint inside, but Jansen read it the whole way. Dumped, holding the footy.
Still trying to get things going. I have no problem with that. He's trying to get things going, Archie, in those situations. He's not happy to have the 50-50 tie-up ball. He wants to win the ball. I like that. Takes the game on.
Across the face to Bachman.
I hope he does that. Given those opportunities in the AFL, I know it's a little bit different. Pressure in the time you don't have, like you do here. I wish he'd just play with that sort of abandon. I like it.
Good decision there from Holmes. Petrie filling the hole nicely for West Coast, and a long ball would have put him in position 1A. Bokhorst is saying, I've got it from here, lads.
Yeah, no worries. All right. I know he's good. I have a sneaking suspicion he'll try and take on the man on the mark. He'll go at him and try and run around him.
He got very close.
I thought
he knew he had the journey. That is a sensational route.
He is confident with a capital C. We gave it to him. No, good on you, mate, we said. And he bombed it from 60 metres out. That's how you shut us up. What a goal. What a goal. Brilliant stuff.
Didn't they need that one, the Sharks? Got every bit of it too. Sweet connection.
It was big.
And that's his first for the afternoon.
As soon as he kicked it too. As soon as he kicked it, he was giving it the finger. Nice work, Blake. Blaine Brokhurst, brilliant stuff. He has been a highlights reel today.
Well, it was brilliant ball use from Bachman. He could have blazed away, held on to it for as long as he possibly could, and just had Bokhorst scooting across the top of the 50 sidewards lead. And that's paid massive dividends here for East Fremantle.
Bachman to Bokhorst. Say that with a mouthful of marbles. Alrighty, game on again. Without wanting to say it again, but they had to respond. They have responded. Still plenty of time. Great stuff for the Sharks. If you're an East Fremantle supporter, you'd be loving this because this is the future. They've had a tough old time of it in recent times, but this year there's just some upside under Bill Monahan.
Good hit out there from Stokes. Sends it wide. Players stopped for a moment. Thought they heard a whistle.
The Perth fans are watching everything that's happening right here, right now. Everything that's going on. They're watching every kick, every mark, every handball, and in particular, they're looking at the scoreboard. Trailed by 2 goals.
Absolute belter of a contest for the final fixture in the round 20 WAFL competition. Free kick hanging on, going the way of youngster Xavier O'Neill. Will he waste some time, or does he want to go direct? The ladder sends it long. Vardy front position, good spoil there from Jump, brings the ball to ground and traps it nicely too. Shanks the handball. Baskerville, bit uncertain. Mutimer wraps him up. East Fremantle had a chance to clear, but good pressure from West Coast.
Just tuned in, I'm sure you would be aware of what happened. Richmond have defeated Brisbane, which means West Coast finished 5th, and they will host Essendon in the first week of the finals at a time and date to be fixed.
Griffin, good hit out. Bachman front position. Had a fantastic second half, but that tackle from Chaz Flint, he's rewarded. Flint sees something in the pocket he likes. Good lead there from Brooksby, and he's grabbed it in front of Creasy at the height. What a tremendous kick from Chaz Flint. Talking about his kicking efficiency earlier, that was spot on.
Yeah, that's much better. That's what they do. They make a liar of you, don't they?
But this will be one of your genuine Diploma Plumbing goals of the day.
We've had some beauties today. Absolute beauties. Thanks to Diploma Plumbing. Don't forget diplomaplumbing.com.au or call that number on your screen.
Looks like the check side option, the way he's holding this one. Keegan Brooksby for his second. That is from the top shelf.
Anything Blaine Bockhurst can do, Big Brooksby can do better.
What a steadier from West Coast.
That's a heartbreaker. That's Perth football fans. Adrian Barrett should be watching this now just going, that's me done.
Snapping laptops and phones.
Redding's be gone. Tanya Armstrong, Clint Wheeldon. They'll all be watching right here. And they'll just all be saying, well, and Michael Schultz, the weather guy.
Is El Reid a Demon fan as well?
He's a West Perth supporter, but with the Subiaco tinge. In fact, he's more Subi now because they pay his son's wages.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. You've got to be careful. You've got to be careful who pays your wages.
A 3-goal lead for the West Coast Eagles. We've ticked over 18 minutes. Going to be tough for the Sharks to fight back from here. They've been gutsy all day. Haven't let West Coast get out to a lead too much further than this. And what a good turnout crowd here at Mineral Resources Park. Harry Edwards.
Yeah, still doesn't flash, does it?
Nah. Put the tracksuit on him, I dare say. That bounce would have to be recalled.
Yeah, he's actually going past Dana now. He's about to walk behind the East Fremantle bench here, Harry Edwards. This is not a good look. He's getting some assistance, and that happened a long time ago. Let's have a look at him now. So we've lost 2 West Coast players today, Reid and Edwards, from heavy tackles.
East Fremantle with a crucial clearance going inside forward 50. In best position, Foley. Great to see him back in West Coast colours as Harry Edwards is heading back into the Mineral Resources Park change rooms.
Dana just walked past you. He looks very untidy, unfortunately.
Yeah, he looks very unwell. I actually had a chat to Nick Reid at half-time as I was passing through the building, and he was just about to get showered up and head off. He couldn't remember much from his situation, what happened. He wasn't in a good way, but I actually reckon Harry's a fair bit worse.
Yeah, no doubt about that, and I have a sneaky suspicion Harry might be making his way to hospital.
Oh, solid hit. Take your pick. Who got it worse there? Jump. Taking Archie to ground. Archie a bit slow to get up, but Archie running with all the force. West Coast goal way. Have a look at this. Bang! Good contest. Good footy.
Cody Manning arrived with mayonnaise.
That's going to be the question, Goss. Is 7 days or 6 days, you would think the final, they play Waffle final Sunday or Saturday. Is 6 or 7 days going to be enough for 2 concussions of 2 pretty instrumental figures in this West Coast Waffle side?
I think they're up against it. I think the club would know that, and knowing that they didn't even get close to it. Nice work. Yeah.
O'Neill lets him know about it. That's quality defence there. The little things that matter.
The blokes on marks is understated. Blokes who work the mark is understated.
Ticked over 20 minutes here, Goss.
Tell you what, Blaine Bockhurst is walking on the boundary line right in front of you, Dana, and I reckon his leg's broken.
I think he's got a very, very sore knee.
Have a look at him.
There's not much taping on there. I'm not sure what's going on there. It's probably just peeled away as the game's gone on, but he is very uncomfortable.
Any chance? He's a weekend hack when he's walking the boundary. When he's on the ground, he's far left.
Brayshaw's kick. Creasy filling the hole nicely. East Fremantle.
He's getting better, Dana. He's walking it out.
Don't know about that.
They're going to be brave with their ball use here, the Sharks. Bachman.
I think his ears are bleeding. You can hear us talking.
He doesn't know you're talking about him. He'll be watching the replay, though. Don't worry, because he'll hear us say he can't kick that goal. And he's made us look like completely stupid.
Jump a bit fumbly, but East Freo still retain possession. Oh, Manning had a tough task bringing the ball to ground against Vardy. He did so. Flint falls over with no pressure. Fletcher can't steal this one. East Freo have numbers here. Fletcher back on it. The kick's going to go over the head of Holmes, and Watson quality spoil out of play.
Camera work too from the boys. Dana Hooker, you could almost reach out and touch Frankie Watson there, landed at your feet.
Yeah, I actually just gave him a little bit of a pump up, saying, not long left, come on. He's been playing well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had a very good day. How's Blaine Brockhurst doing on the boundary line? He's to your left.
He's still limping.
Yeah, I reckon
still looking a bit sorrow.
I reckon get the wheelchair for the fella. He's been awesome today, but he's done.
Good clearance work from East Fremantle. Fletcher sends it long. Schofield stays down. Soccer off the deck. Always off target. 22 minutes play time running out for the Sharks and the Perth Demons Football Club, Goss. West Coast hanging on here.
Yeah, I think they could put him away for the year, I think. There's no point. The game's gone.
Francis Watson just getting a handle on that.
Dana Hooker. What do you got?
Oh, look, Goss just kicking him while he's down. No, it's actually not him. It's a different player. Sorry, I'm wrong. One of the players is wearing a different colour blue socks. I don't think the Waffle will be too happy with that.
Are you talking about Holmes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it earlier.
Yeah.
It looks like he's
got the sky blue socks.
He's got the sky blue.
Bit of a turquoise look.
Yeah, I remember when Peter Bell was at Fremantle and he wore cut-off socks. So he didn't like the full-blown socks. And I made mention of it in commentary and he got in a lot of trouble. A lot of players do.
Loose ball at half forward. Ball ping-pongs around a little bit. Fletcher does battle with Watson.
You get it all in this country. It all shapes and size. Yeah. What do you know? Yeah, that's Holmes. What are you noticing? There's more.
On the boundary.
There's a couple. Davidson on there on the left. They're not blue. They're not blue socks whatsoever.
They're turquoise.
I've heard the property manager for the Sharks only likes to give away one pair of socks, so if you lose it, do your best. A chance for the Sharks go pocket. West Coast have the numbers. Bachman claimed by a couple of Eagles. His handball doesn't work. And Cole clears on the left. Archie with a Bruce Lee studs in the back. That's a genuine fly kick, and Archie realises it helps him off the deck. That's good by Brendan Archie.
You know that studs up rule? That's about it, I reckon.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. I mean, no, it's not. Jumpy just got up, as he does, because he's tough. He's done, though, Jumpy. He cannot go another yard.
Teakle from behind, can't bring it in. In fact, Teakle, I reckon, put some boots into Vardy.
There's mass confusion on the boundary line. Who should stay on? Jumpy doesn't know what he's doing. He's trying to get on and then off and trying to get back on again, thanks to Hungry Jacks.
Ball up. Griffin looking for Jansen, has it. This has to go in for the Sharks, but it's shanked off the boot. Will be lucky to score. It doesn't.
It's sort of the game certainly petering out at the moment because it's going to be a West Coast Eagles win. They're going to make the finals. Gritty
win today, Goss. Challenged deep into this fourth quarter. 2 men down.
Yeah, not bad.
Big win for the footy club in an inaugural waffle season to head into 4th position as a massive tip of the cap. The umpires paid a throw and listen to the crowd. Not impressed.
Frankie Watson is really struggling at the moment. He's cramping up big time. But again, the numbers on the bench, Jared Cameron, Keegan Brooksby. In fact, I think not Keegan Brooksby, it might be Rebillard is the only other one on the bench. 2 down. Here is Brooksby.
Strong grab there from Keegan. He'll be in zero hurry. Mutimer floating pass has a short option, but I'm going to get the stats padded at this point. Brooksby, long. Cameron, no, Archie dealt with. How would you believe it's ended up in his hands? You can put him off his feet when the ball's nowhere near him. On days like this, he'll still find it. Brendan Archie. The Sharks. Oh, no, Tassoni works himself into some trouble. Here we go. Allen, the tackler. O'Neill reaps the reward.
Yeah, good footy, good pressure. He had no idea. Tassoni, that there was someone bearing down on him. I'll take you back to that earlier incident, Diploma Plumbing Goal of the Day contender. You're right, Archie got felled off the ball by Lester Smith. The ball fell into his lap. Here it is. Well, that's a little bit after the event, but doesn't matter. But here it is. Top hand pass was okay, but Tassoni had to give it. Didn't really have an option, but it got run down and the advantage was paid. So the game is over. But I don't want to sound patronising, but I reckon East Fremantle would walk away from this game thinking we've cracked in, and we've cracked in hard. There's some really good signs, and I think Bill Monahan will take, and the East Fremantle Football Club as a whole will take a lot out of this game today, because they're not playing for anything. West Coast are playing for everything, and they've hung in there. They've got within less than a goal in this quarter. Class has just started to break open.
You think about their team from, I mean, obviously losing Nick Comer to a shoulder injury in round 18. Don't have him. Jordan Snadden, the ex-Eagle, did his Achilles, missed basically the whole year. And the top 2 BNF finishers last year, Sean Hampson, gone to Swan Districts, and Jonathan Marsh playing for Richmond VFL.
And I can tell you that at the moment, East Fremantle have got 1 less on the ground. They've only got 17 on the ground.
Oh, yeah, 5 on the bench.
Got 5 on the bench where Dana is. There's dead set 5 players on the bench.
West Coast loose man in their defensive 50 at this point. It's Francis Watson.
Well, the umpires are trying to work it out. That's why there's confusion.
Well, why isn't Monahan just running on?
Because no one... The Eagles are actually trying to tell... They're trying to tell East Fremantle you're allowed 1 player on the ground.
And now he comes on. What's he waiting for?
Because he was staying for the 6-6-6 rule. Playing games.
Allen, snap round the body. Brady Gray flying for the grab.
Monahan was trying to sneak on the ground as an off the ground, if you know what I mean.
Flynn loved his game. Sends it inside 50. They've been deep injuries the majority of the day for West Coast. Doesn't work on this occasion. Jumps, steaming out of defence. Good kick to Davies.
A little bit cunning by Billy Monahan. To have Monahan crouched down, so not part of the 6-6-6, and then he crept on the ground after the bounce down.
Bailey Williams shirks the tackle. Genuine floater towards goal. Can't get the lucky bounce.
Diploma Plumbing Goal of the Day. There's plenty of them. Don't forget Diploma Plumbing and the Hungry Jacks. Bring us to the telecast, diplomaplumbing.com.au for all your plumbing needs.
Will this be our final stream of the year, Goss? That'll be the question. A matter of whether Channel 7 pick up the West Coast Waffle game next week or whether we live to fight another day. I have a feeling next week's game won't be so parochially called as this one has been today.
Pay what you get what you pay for.
Bennett, Bachman, he's been impressive. Been lively at half forward, doesn't want to kick it.
I'm happy to call it though. It's you and I just sit there and talk.
With no cameras.
On our Facebook, we have our mobile phone going.
Deary me.
Hey, that'll get them in.
Look, love your company, but it's a hard pass. Rotham sets it up. Griffin does well. Here's a chance. A late one for East Fremantle. That's a genuine throw. Eardley snap round the body. Almost hits my office window.
Have you got an office?
Nah, joking. But it was nowhere near the goals.
You don't have an office.
I share it with 70 other workers, so that's incorrect. Tom Cole. Bit of uncertainty as to what his finals future will be in 2019. He's looked a cut above at this level, but spot's hard to come by in that back line.
Just got to hang in there.
Vardy, good fly from behind. Sticking the knee directly into Winton. And I'd love to know how many contested marks he's taken. We're a bit light on for those type of heavy-duty stats, Goss, but had good hands today, Nathan. Play on.
Bachman off the ground. There it is. Siren sounds. It is over. West Coast Eagles by 23 points, and they're into the finals. We're reliably informed it'll be West Perth at Arena Joondalup, 12:10:82 to 8:11:59. But keep an ear and eye out through the media. Of course, the West Coast Eagles, 12:10:82 to 8:11:59. As the umpires come off the ground. And I suggest that Bill Monahan, the East Fremantle coach, is very unhappy with...
Fair suggestion there, Tim.
He's just gone to the umpiring fraternity and let them know that he was unhappy with today's performance. But in the end, I thought they were gallant. I don't want to be patronising, I'll say it again. Dana Hooker is downstairs with arguably, we think, the player that really shone today, Brendan Archie.
Absolutely, Goss. What a game, Brendan. You must be absolutely thrilled for the side, making your finals appearance, and you just played sensationally today.
Yeah, thank you. We had a lot to play for today, and we didn't want to look too far ahead, but we just try and win as much as possible. And full credit to East Freo, they came out, and it was a pretty hot contest for most of the day. So to get the win and to stay alive for another week's really good.
Yeah, they stuck at it, didn't they, East Freo? They just kept chipping away and they didn't have anything to play for. But yourself, you kicked 3 really important goals throughout the game, so congratulations on that. How were you feeling out there today?
Yeah, well, we had 2 down for most of the day, so it was pretty taxing. But yeah, I think all the boys just grit the teeth, and it was hot, but we got the game in our terms and ended up winning. So that's all you can ask for, and go forward next week.
That you do. So you've got West Perth at Arena Joondalup next weekend. What do you think about them?
Yeah, we played them recently, so we know them pretty well. But they've beaten us once, we've beaten them once, and who knows? We've just got to prepare, recover, and get ready for a big final.
Well, it's going to be a really exciting finals, and congratulations. I'm so thrilled for you guys, an inaugural team into the competition. You've done stellar work to make the finals. Enjoy the win and get around the boys.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Thank you, Brendan. Well done.
Thanks,
Good on you. Thanks, Dana. Nice work by you, and well done to Brendan Archie, who finished with 23 disposals and 4 goals, and throw in, of course, a couple of tackles and marks. And the Hungry Jacks highlights as we close it out on this pretty momentous day for the West Coast Eagles. 12:10:82 to 8:11:59 East Fremantle. Now that was right on half-time by Lester Smith, and that certainly got the momentum going the Sharks' way. But after half-time, the game ebbed and flowed for various stages.
Big time. That was East Fremantle's second goal from outside 50 that really sparked them at stages where they needed it. But Archie, a true difference maker in today's contest. Not only with his 4 majors, but setting up plenty. And this one of them with Brooksby to Fraser McInnes. Good to see the skipper back after a 3-game absence and a quad injury. He'll be a vital cog in West Coast Waffle finals push. One of Archie's 4, bit of uncertainty from the goal umpire, but committed in the end. Drew Petrie, what an absolute stunning inclusion he's been for this West Coast Eagles defence. I think when many saw that he was going to be lining up in the back half, a few eyebrows raised, but just proves he can really be a true versatile big man in this level. That was Stokes putting through one of his 2 goals for the afternoon for the Sharks. Bocourse, this is the torpedo that went sideways, and a drop mark from Holmes somehow opened the door for Monahan, and that is probably your winner for goal of the day, courtesy of Diploma Plumbing. Bokhorst, geez, we got into him. Can he kick it 70 metres? Almost kicked it 80.
We gave it to him. We gave it to him. I think he was pointing at you, actually.
This tackle from Matty Allen shows the true size and force. Taking Tassone to ground, and O'Neill saying, great work, Truck Allen. Thanks for giving me my first of the afternoon, and capping off a fantastic Eagles victory here at Mineral Resources Park.
Yep, they got the job done, the West Coast Eagles. The final score was 12-10-82 to 8-11-59, thanks to Hungry Jacks and Diploma Plumbing. Archie with 4, Brooksby with 2, and Stokes was the multiple goal kicker. Will Schofield did his chances of a recall into the AFL no harm whatsoever. He had plenty of good teammates who got plenty of the ball. Allen with 26, Brayshaw 26. If we take a look at the overall touches, Archie 25 was outstanding with his 4 goals. Bennett was good, jump outstanding down back, and Sean Fletcher back in the lineup there for East Fremantle. On behalf of Dana Hooker, also in Steve Bandy, and the hard-working team at ground level in the truck, it's been the West Coast Eagles are into the Waffle Finals. Keep you posted on our website, on our Facebook for more details in regards to that fixture. On behalf of the team, for Hungry Jacks and Diploma Plumbing, this is Tim Gossage bidding you farewell from Mineral Resources Park. The Eagles are in the Waffle Finals.